this. Oh, how you doing, Terry? How you doing, Tara? Good to see y'all. How you doing? Oh my goodness. So happy to see you here. Yeah, so big shout out to Oi Oi and Jason Beatrice. They won amazing logos, absolutely brilliant logos. I'm just so happy. I should actually show them right now. They look so cool. Bust them out. Here we are. I gotta show them off. Yeah, so we got POTUS, but look at these logos. Just absolutely unreal. We got Oi Oi. Top 3, we got Jason Beatrice, the voice of the chat. Just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. How is everybody doing? Perfect timing. That's right. Absolutely wonderful timing. So, legends, welcome in. It's not just a normal news situation. We've got Iran, oil lanes, rockets exploding, Los Angeles politics getting super weird, and the internet acting like it had 3 espressos and 0 supervision. You're not just watching the news over here. You are the signal in the noise. Like, subscribe, join the channel, drop a super chat, and let's make this the best chat on planet Earth. All right. Might as well. Let's see what's going on with POTUS.
This will be the entrance into the ballroom. The ballroom will be right here. This is.
Oh, it's so cool to see him from this angle. So awesome.
This is a beautiful glass tunnel. Beautiful tunnel that goes right into the ballroom. Ballroom's right there. Pretty good, right?
You've had so much fun.
Thank you, Tara. Appreciate it. Those logos are amazing. I love them. Look so cool. Oi liked his, but Jason Beatrice hasn't seen his yet, so I'm excited to see what he says about it.
I feel like designing this.
Well, I did. It's going to be one of the greatest. I would say it will be the greatest facility of its kind ever built.
Incredible.
By far. There'll never be anything like it. And we're ahead of schedule. We're right on budget.
That's perfect.
And it's a gift from me and from great patriots that, it's going to cost the country nothing.
My View host, Laura Trump, getting a sneak peek of the new White House ballroom, where construction is currently underway despite Democrats fighting tooth and nail to shut it down. Laura Trump joins us now. Laura, I've been around the president when he's...
Can we make sense? What are the Democrats against Trump for? He's not even going to experience this ballroom as much as the future presidents will. What's the real situation going on here?
He's talking about construction. It doesn't matter if he's talking about Bedminster or the way. He gets excited. He's really excited. So what did you learn from seeing...
Xavier says Trump lost my support. How did he do that?
The site so close and having the president who designed it explain to you what was going on?
Well, I love that about this whole interview with him. You're right, Rachel. He gets so excited about these projects. This is who he is. He's a builder at heart. And so one of my favorite parts of this is when he interacts with the workers. If you've been to any construction site with Donald Trump, he doesn't go to...
There you go. Terry says, I do not understand Trump's infatuation with this ballroom, especially with the inflation and wars involving the U.S. How many Americans care about a ballroom? Yeah, I guess that's the answer, right? He's a builder at heart. He wants to do something. And also, I have a feeling like his ego's involved in this one. Like, he just wants to be a part of it and just to be remembered that, like, oh my gosh, Donald Trump built this amazing ballroom, you know.
To the head of the project, he wants to talk to the people who are on the ground to ask them about how things are going. So he interacts with a lot of the workers, but this is so much bigger than a ballroom, and he talks about it in our interview tonight. There's an entire complex below the ballroom.
Right.
There's anti-drone technology. There's so much more going on there, and I just love how excited he is, and he acknowledges, you heard him there, the taxpayers are paying $0 for this. He got private funding. I'll remind the Democrats again for the entire ballroom project, but he says, look, I'm only probably going to get to use it for like 6 months. This is really for future presidents, for the future of America, and what a gift it will be once it's completed. It is a huge site, and he talks all about it tonight.
You know, long before the president said, you know, the ballroom would have been a solution to what had happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I had been on the floor and waiting for Sean to come back, and my husband Sean to come back into the, I knew he was going to come back to get me after he was taken out. And I waited, and he came back, and his detail said to me, if we had a ballroom, this would have never happened. And then when the president said it,
Savage Glizzy jumping in on the chat saying, what is your opinion on the Fed buying Bitcoin? Interesting. And what is the reason? What is the reason for that? That's a very interesting point. If they do purchase that, do they have what is their game plan? What do you think is their game plan? What do you think, chat? Great question. We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Members get so many benefits like Oi Oi and Jason Beatrice, who just won 2 amazing logos. These are the logos right here. Just absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
I mean, that was the first time I heard it was from Sean's detail. So there's absolutely national security reason why it should happen. And you're right, there's a whole complex underneath. And if you use taxpayer money, they would have complained. And now that he's using private money, they're complaining. You can't win either way. Let's move to this, because you also talked to him probably about the most important issue that is facing the country right now, which is we're in a war. It's a conflict that's, you know, dividing the country in many ways, and it's ahead of a midterm. The president has been fighting really hard to get a peace negotiation. Here's what you talked to him about the war and the midterms and his agenda. Here's what happened.
I'd imagine if you could have timed things perfectly, having a conflict just in front of the midterm.
Xavier coming in hot saying, why did he give up on mass deportations? And maybe the answer is for the third temple. I don't know. Is that accurate, chat? What do you think?
Elections at a time like this isn't ideal.
So you have really a very small window. So if you wanted to play that game, then you would wait till the midterms are over, and then the following hour, you'll attack Iran, because they cannot have a nuclear weapon. Most people agree with me on that. But then it gets maybe carried into, you know, the next election, whether it's a midterm or not. So you have a very short window for doing anything having to do with war. But I don't view that window. I view it, I have to do what's right.
Laura, I had the same question. I'm so glad you asked it, because he was about to see this economic boom happen in April. And so many people were like, why couldn't you have just waited?
Okay, so allegedly about that Bitcoin thing, everyone's saying the Fed bought Bitcoin. That's not accurate. The real story is bigger and sneakier, allegedly. The government already had seized Bitcoin, and now instead of dumping it, they're treating it like digital gold. That means Washington may be quietly admitting Bitcoin is no longer just internet money, it's a strategic asset. Very interesting. The overlooked point, this is not the Fed replacing the dollar with Bitcoin. It is the US government choosing to hold seized Bitcoin instead of selling it, while regulators also soften some banking guidance around crypto activity. Does this mean that if they own so much of it that they will ultimately be able to control it? Oh, Blood Rain jumping in the chat saying cashless society like Revelation 13 predicts. My goodness. My goodness.
Till after.
What do you think, chat? Agree or disagree? We're going live every day of 2026. Like, subscribe, notifications, member, super chat if you want.
After the midterm, I know Marco Rubio said our partner Israel had something to do with that, but the president's telling you, no, he felt like it was much more imminent, the nuclear threat.
Well, I think this president wants to do what's right, period, Rachel. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. I go back to actually before.
Really Hot Heat says, Leet support 1488. What is 1488?
He announced running for president in 2015, and he sat down with our whole family. And I remember him saying, if I only have one term in office, but I do the things that are necessary and right for this country, that's okay with me.
Terry says, don't look at my failed war in Iran. High inflation, global economic meltdown. Look at my ballroom. Look at my ballroom.
Me. He has never looked at things as, oh, well, this is politically advantageous, so let me do this. He looks at things as, is this right for America? Is this
Xavier, I don't know if that's fair, bro. Xavier says, remember when they asked Trump about how he felt about Charlie Kirk's extinguishment, and he started rapping about his ballroom? I saw that clip, and he was right in front of a helicopter, and I don't know if he understood the question, because if he did that, like, granted, okay, let's take it from two perspectives. Say, for instance, he did actually hear the accurate question, just started ranting about the ballroom. Super huge L for POTUS, Donald Trump. But if what I think he did was he didn't understand the question correctly, or it was edited in such a way, then that's just what it is. He didn't actually understand the actual initial question.
Right for our future security, and that is 100% what you got with this Iran situation. Of course, the president didn't want to have a conflict with Iran just ahead of these midterms. In a perfect world.
Oh, bro, you're gonna get me in trouble. Really Hot Heat. What's going on, dude? Come on, bro. This is a friendly place. We're all getting together, having fun. We're developing the best chat in the world. Make sure everybody likes, subscribes, turns on those notifications, becomes a member, throws in a super chat. Members get awesome things like this logo. Yeah, oi, want a logo. Jason Beatrice want a logo. But yeah, we're friendly. We're friendly over here, buddy.
World, we wouldn't have had to do this, but the
Loki, how you doing, buddy?
can got kicked down the road. It landed in his lap, and much like
Alan says, big super L for POTUS. You think he understood the question then?
so many other things with this president, he's the one to get the job done. Whether we're talking about Maduro and making sure that he's held accountable, whether we're
Loki, thank you for the 2 jewels, buddy. We love you, brother. The Lord loves you. Everybody loves you.
talking about ensuring Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. You remember first term moving the American embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. How many presidents said they were going to do that? This president did it. He's interested in doing what is right no matter what. And so I think he deserves an immense amount of credit for that. Obviously, the hope is that this wraps up very quickly. We're hoping maybe in the next couple hours we get a solution here, but he's going to do what's right no matter what.
I hope we break it on the show.
I hope so too. W's in the chat for 2 women who actually look like women.
But Laura, you asked all the tough questions, and I'm really grateful that you're on. That was a question I certainly had, and I'm glad you asked it. And everybody can watch the entire interview. It's riveting with Laura and the president tonight at 9 p.m.
Riveting. There you go. Who's hotter? Yeah. What do you guys think? Left or right? Who's hotter? That's a great question. She's married, so she's off the table. Is the other one married? Let me see your fingers, girl. You gonna show your hands? I saw a hand move there.
There's so
Oh. All right, so she's hotter because she's not married.
so much more going.
But W's for her for being married. That's awesome. Megan Kelly is always the answer. There you go, blood. We know who Blood Rain loves. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah. Hewit slams homelessness in Los Angeles. Actually, since we're on this little Trumpy thing, let's see what they're actually talking about. I'd like to see this little situation. All right, bring it, girl.
Mr. President, thank you for welcoming us back here to the White House.
Thank you.
One of the things that I think everybody wants
So allegedly, Iran is in a very, very bad position.
to talk about with you is Iran. Obviously, I know it's top of mind for you. You have actually said you either want a good deal or no deal at all.
Really hot heat says denounce Hassan. There you go. There you go. Can you explain the reason? Explain your reasoning.
Right.
With Iran. So what does a good deal look like for you?
Well, first of all, there's no deal that's good enough because the media will cover it. And we're making a great deal. We're going to make it a great deal. Or we'll just go back and finish it off militarily. But this would go faster. It's probably better on a humane standpoint. There's something nice about it also. You know, save a lot of lives. Whether it's the other side or not, you save a lot of lives. But we're close to a very good deal, and if we can make it good, otherwise we just start up with the Department of War, as we call it. And it's been very successful. You saw Venezuela, it was a one-day win, and this is really a win already. We've defeated their military, essentially defeated their military. I would rather get a deal because we can open the strait immediately upon signing.
Okay, that makes sense. Really high heat.
The one guarantee that I have to have is that there will be no nuclear weapons. They've agreed to that. And it was very interesting. They said,
Jackson Dart introduced him. Honestly, Lychee. Let's see that.
they originally said, we will not develop a nuclear weapon. I said, well, what happens if you buy a nuclear weapon? So now it says we will not develop or in any way purchase a military weapon. That's a big difference. So we're getting what we want slowly. Very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry. I'd like to say I'm in a hurry because, you know, gasoline prices are going to come tumbling down. But if you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal. And slowly but surely, we're getting, I think,
I got you, Lychee. We'll see that next.
what we want. And if we don't get
Thank you, really high heat. Appreciate the 2 jewels, buddy.
what we want, we're going to end it a different way.
So that's interesting because I think everyone has acknowledged that the United States has been in a defensive position against Iran. They've been aggressive to some extent, and we've been defensive. Is there a line that they would cross for you to go on the offensive again militarily?
Well, a deal that wasn't going to be good for us is the line, ultimately, because, you know, I'm playing it out and we're going to see, and that's what I do. I negotiate, they negotiate. They're very good negotiators, they're crafty. But in the end, we have all the cards because we've defeated them militarily. Look, they have no Navy. Every ship, they have 159 ships.
True, Terry. There you go. Bringing some sense to the chat. Terry says, now that I think about it, Trump's answer to the question about Kirk was bizarre. Maybe you're right. And didn't hear the question because that isn't like Trump to deflect like that. Yeah, I don't think he would deflect. And especially how much of an impact Charlie Kirk had with President Trump becoming POTUS. That was, I don't think he would say it that way. But also he didn't actually go back on that and kind of clear it up. So at least not to my knowledge.
Every one of them are at
But if I do interview Donald Trump, that's definitely one of the things I'm going to ask him.
the bottom of the sea. Every single one. We take pictures of them. We have people going down taking pictures of hundreds of ships. Their Navy is totally gone, 100%. Their Air Force is totally gone, 100%. Their military, we've sort of left it alone because we think that their military is somewhat moderate.
Gabriella says he should have negotiated before he started this situation. There you go. Agree or disagree, chat.
They have other people that aren't moderate. We've taken them out. We've taken different forms of leadership out. We've actually left their military alone. People would be surprised to hear that. Because mistakes have been made in wars where you wipe out everybody and then you have a country that's, you know, for 40 years can never rebuild. You look at what happened with Iraq. We did so bad. That was such a foolish thing, what we did. Shouldn't have been there in the first place, by the way. And shouldn't have been in Iran. But Iran has the capability. If we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon right now. And it would be a whole different story. Probably would have used it. You probably wouldn't have had you wouldn't have had Israel, but you probably wouldn't have had a Middle East. And then where do they go from there? And you get to see that when you see that when we went back, they had missiles aimed at Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain. They all got hit. And we were surprised. I was surprised. Actually, I viewed it as a positive because all those people came immediately to our side. They got hit. Now, they could have taken another view. They could have said, well, we want no part of it. Not that they like it, but they came to our side. And Iran is in a very bad position. They have no military. All they have is good talk, and they have a fake press. You know, the fake news is probably their biggest asset. And I put something out on Truth the other day that I think was very profound. It said that we wipe out their military, we wipe out their Navy, their Air Force, their anti-aircraft, we wipe out everything, we wipe out their leadership, and then we wipe out their leadership a second time. And then at 2.5 times, we're dealing with the other half. And by the way, they're much more reasonable, and you could say that's regime change. But I said, so they would then raise the white flag of surrender. We give up to the great American military, the most powerful military. We give up, we give up, we give up. The New York Times would say, Iran has fought bravely and has defeated the United States of America. I mean, the coverage is so bad. You have a big win in a battle, and they say you lost. You knock out their entire Navy, and they say their Navy's doing fantastically. No, it was defeated, totally defeated. And they say, it's just a terrible thing for our country. And, you know, to really be great, you need a fair media. And we don't have a fair media. I mean, that's all they can do is lie.
Well, that's
they
the
have
Democrats.
No policy.
They have nothing to go on.
They're Democrats, okay?
Yeah.
They have no policy. We have a new name for them, you know, Democrats. I call them, I will always call them until they straighten up, Democrats, because
he just gets people going, doesn't he? He is one of those guys. He's the catalyst. And what do you think about that picture in the back? It's a very, very interesting painting back there, and great lighting on this set, by the way.
They want women to be put in.
And by the way, for the members, we go over lighting and all those types of things. That's what we're going to go over next, actually.
Danger by having men play in women's sports. Think of it. They want the transgender mutilization of your children. They want.
And for the private live streams, people who are in the inner circle or above get to see those.
Open borders. We want open borders. They want high taxes. You know, they voted against the tax cuts. They voted against no taxes on tips. They voted against no taxes on Social Security. They voted against no taxes on overtime. These have been so important. But the Democrats voted against all of that. But we call them Democrats, and it works out well because I take the word dumb, take the B off, because most people don't know that, you know, dumb ends with a B, but most people don't know. And all I do is I switch the E with a U, and you have a Democrat. And I came up with that by watching Hakeem Jeffries, because he's a dumb person. And I said, he's really dumb. I said, wait a minute, he's a Democrat. So I think it works. I don't know that it's going to be as good as Pope.
There you go. There you go. He's the one that started it, allegedly.
Or fake news, or so many of the others that we've come up with. But, I mean, I'm going to just call them Democrats because I don't understand how they can be so stupid.
I'd imagine if you could have timed things perfectly, having a conflict just in front of the midterm elections at a time like this isn't ideal. You acknowledge the high gas prices. You have consistently been willing to do the hard things. The things that your predecessor said should have been done, but they didn't have the guts to do them. You have taken them on, and Iran is a great example of that.
Well, you have a problem, you know, a structural problem, because you have the midterms, you have the elections. Well, that's going to go on for hundreds of years, every 2 years. So you have really a very small window. So if you wanted to play that game, then you would wait till the midterms are over, and then.
Jeff Chandler bringing some heat into the chat, saying Democrats have been complaining about Iran for decades. Obama's solution? Give them pallets of money. There you go. Agree or disagree, chat?
And the following hour, you'll attack Iran because they cannot have a nuclear weapon. Most people agree with me on that. But then it gets maybe carried into, you know, the next election, whether it's a midterm or not. So you have a very short window for doing anything having to do with war. But I don't view that window. I view it, I have to do what's right. When I attacked Venezuela, it was really, I was hit hard. Now, I did that because of what they've done to our country in terms of sending prisoners in and drugs in and all the other stuff. You know, we have drugs down 97%, fentanyl and various drugs down 97%.
That's a W. Fentanyl down 97%, right? That's great. That's great. Guess we got to give them some credit for that.
on drugs coming in by water. Now we're starting the land, and it's going to be it's actually easier. The land is much easier. You know, the drug boats that are, for the most part, no longer with us. In fact, the 3%, we're trying to figure out who would do that. I mean, they obviously don't watch television or don't watch the news, but that was very unpopular. As soon as I won, it became unbelievably popular. Well, we're winning Iran. It's a total win for us. I mean, we had to do it. Look, two things with it. Number one, the strait has to be opened immediately and has to be free, no tolls, et cetera, et cetera. And number two is they can't have a nuclear weapon. That's all there is. It's very simple. And then
Josh G jumping in the chat saying, I don't know how he gets away with some of the things he says. I mean, he's gotten away with a lot worse, I guess. Agree or disagree, chat?
We're going to get out of there. And we don't need the strait. You know, we don't need it because we have more. So we produce now, because of us, we produce more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined ×2. Think of that. We'd double what they do. Add Saudi Arabia and Russia, multiply it ×2. And we're going to be much higher. We're the oil superpower, far greater than even Saudi Arabia, even Russia. But you add them up. These are two big monsters. You add them up, and we double it. We have a great country. We've had tremendous success. We have done things that are unbelievable. And I have tremendous support from Republicans. I mean, I never get support from Democrats. It's a different...
Savage Glizzy is above the left and the right. Just dropping some knowledge in the chat. We got the best chat in the world. Saying Republican versus Democrat is low-hanging for the simpletons. Global strategy government is beyond political party pettiness. Agree or disagree, chat? We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Different world than it was. It used to be they'd get together, they'd have lunch, they'd fight a little bit, they'd have bipartisan. I'm not sure that's possible because everything's so different. I want closed borders. I want people coming in legally. They want open borders. They want every criminal in the world to pour into our country. They had 25 million people, many of whom were criminals, 11,800.
All right, y'all. So, you know, as entertaining as Trump is, I try to stay as honest as possible and I try to get accurate information. So we're just doing a little fact checking here. So allegedly, fentanyl deaths are down big, roughly 22% year over year, which is absolutely fantastic. It should be 0% every year, forever. And border seizure numbers are down around 49 to 56%. That's a huge, huge percentage. That's good news, but the truth first, the decline started before Trump came back, allegedly. So the honest question is whether his policies accelerated it, sustained it, or just inherited the trend. What do you think, chat?
188 were murderers. Most of them committed more than one murder. I don't want them in our country. I'm sorry. And, you know, so there are things like...
Hugh, how you doing, buddy?
Transgender.
Jasmine, how you doing?
Mutilization of your children. They want that. They want men to play in women's sports. They want all these things. So I don't know. People say, can you ever get together? I don't know. I mean, you know, the policies are so different. I want borders. They don't want borders. They want to get rid of, you know, they want to get rid of your Second Amendment. I have to protect the Second Amendment, and I have protected it. But we've done a lot. We've done really a lot. And more people are working in the United States right now than at any time ever before. We have more people working. We have $18 trillion, as you've heard many times. I say it all the time.
We got NGAX saying he's got us walking on eggshells. As a matter of fact, he has a whole world walking on eggshells. Absolutely disgusting behavior. Please explain yourself. What do you mean by that? Thank you for your chat, buddy. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Time now, I haven't included the 12th month.
Members get all of these awesome emojis like Hugh Mungus has right there. Yo, Damage, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning.
But for 11 months, we have 18 trillion with a T, coming into our country. Biden in 4 years had a lot less than 1 trillion. And I will say this, if they won this election, I don't think we'd have a country anymore.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Oh, man. He says we're not going to have a country if they won it. Do you agree, chat? Disagree? What's going on? What's going on? Strong statements from POTUS. Absolutely. Breaking news. U.S. declares nuclear emergency. Come on. Come on.
Them till tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and after that, they're going to have no bridges, they're going to have no power plants. Stone Ages, yeah, Stone Ages. CNN fake news.
Are you willing to make a deal that does not include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, or is that now a top priority?
I would say it's a very big priority because, see, that's one thing that's a little different than other things. We can bomb the hell out of them, we can knock them out for a loop. But to close the strait, all you need is one terrorist that somehow has a truck loaded with, because you can carry them in trucks, large trucks, a water mine, drop them in the water, and now you tell people that don't.
Got Glenn Roy Lewis jumping in the chat saying the Don Trump is a savior of America and Western world. MAGA till we die. And there we go. We got some support for Trump in the chat.
Ship lately. We've knocked out 158 ships in 3 days. We've knocked out even their mine droppers. They don't have any mine droppers.
Mr. Revolver saying, man, she was such a tough interviewer. She was a little soft, right? Well, that's the POTUS. You gotta let them speak, right?
Droppers anymore, but they put them on other boats, and they could drop them. I'm not even sure they have any mines there, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm personally, they say there might be 8. I don't know.
Retro Beamer says press should call him out when he undermines them. Yeah, you know what? You got a valid point there. Where would that lead to? Is that a beneficial thing? Because you're talking to the president of the United States as well, right?
I think they've ever been. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft weaponry, they have no radar, they have no communication. In fact, the biggest problem we have in our negotiation is that they can't communicate. I said to Steve, what are they saying? Sir, they can't communicate. They have no method of communication. So we're communicating like they used to communicate 2,000 years ago with children, bringing a note back and forth. They have no communication. But all I want to see is I want to have a safe world, and you're not going to have a safe world. Israel will be gone, the Middle East will be gone, and then they're coming for Europe. And I have to tell you, I'm very disappointed in NATO, very. I think that NATO, I think it's a mark on NATO that will never disappear in my mind. You know, they're coming to see me on Wednesday, they're going to say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. Now they all of a sudden want to send things, you know. But they said it loud and clear at the beginning when I spoke to UK of all. I would have said they would have been the first because they're the oldest. And I say, yeah, I'd love to have a little help. He said, no, sir, we'd rather wait till you win. I said, I don't need help after we win. They have 2 old broken aircraft carriers, barely work. I said, I guess we can use them. Who the hell knows? I called the general. He didn't even want them. He said, we don't really need them. We got the SS Abraham Lincoln.
Red Hood Feet Forever jumping on the chat with some heat saying weak liberals want a peak president. There you go. Agree or disagree. And members, we got septum piercings and we got MAGA hats, emojis for everybody. So just keep that in mind. We got a lot of awesome private live streams like Oi Oi won a free logo along with Jason Beatrice. Awesome logos.
Again, that wouldn't have been possible. 101 missiles heading to a ship that's not that far off the coast. And out of the 101 missiles, we shot down all 101. We have weaponry. The Patriots are unbelievable. We have weaponry.
Brown Sticky, LA Zombies coming up soon, buddy.
That's unbelievable, yeah.
Just to clarify.
Go ahead.
Janice G saying the media lies and twists. Everyone knows it. I wish you were wrong, Janice. I wish you were wrong, but I think you might be accurate.
Please. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said earlier today during the egg roll that you would like to take Iran's oil, but Americans want U.S. forces home.
Correct.
What's that trade-off?
If I had my choice,
time?
yeah. Because I'm a businessman first. With Venezuela, as you know, the war was over in about 45 minutes. And we have great people running Venezuela, very good people. I mean, the relationship is good. And we are a partner with Venezuela. and we've taken hundreds of millions.
Just to give you, we're just trying to bring the truth here. Crime is down since POTUS, Donald Trump, took office. Violent crime is down around 9%. MURDER is down around 18%. Property crime around 12%. And that's real. But the truth first, the decline started before Trump. So the honest question is whether, his administration accelerated it or not. But crime is definitely down, but it's been going down allegedly. So just trying to bring some truth into the chat for y'all.
We haven't heard that in, I think, maybe hundreds of years. Now with Venezuela, and we, just so you understand, the people of Venezuela, they say if I ran for president of Venezuela, I'm polling higher than anybody has ever polled in Venezuela. So after I'm finished with this, I can go to Venezuela. I will quickly learn Spanish. It won't take too long. I'm good at language. And I will go to Venezuela. I'm going to run for president. But we're very happy with the president-elect that we have right now, the people.
Thank you, NG. I try to, buddy.
People that are running it. If you remember Bush with Iraq, they fired the generals, they fired the police, they fired the people that worked in their equivalent of the White House. They fired everybody. And you know what they had? They had a mess. And you know what happened? ISIS formed.
Josh G jumping in the chat saying couldn't beat 4 million farmers in Afghanistan. Let's call it what it is.
Those generals and those soldiers got together. The police got together. They all got together. They formed ISIS. Not going to happen with us. So Venezuela has been an incredible.
One love. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again. Good to see you. Check it out. Jason Beatrice won a logo. This one we got the voice of the chat, and then we also got Oi Oi who won a logo. So awesome, dude. Good to see you. How you doing?
It's been an incredible situation. We went in. We were very successful. Military power like nobody's ever seen. The general, Venezuelan general, said I was on that site. I said I've never seen ferocity like that. I've been doing this for 40 years. He said I've never seen it. They hit us from 17 different. They were all set. They saw that big, beautiful aircraft carrier, the Ford in that case, and planes were pouring off it at 1 o'clock in the morning. So typically when you see that late at night, you know you could be in trouble, right? And we were all ready. They had their equipment. It was Russian. And they had Chinese equipment. It was all set. They were going to give us a fight. He said, and then they came, and they came at speeds like we've never seen. And they came at 17 different angles. The general and his people, that was a lot of angles. They hit him from every angle. He said, we knew it was over in 3 minutes. We were waiting for them. Their equipment didn't work. And there's a reason it didn't work. Someday we'll explain that to people. They pressed the button, nothing happened. They pressed it again and again, nothing happened. And he said, we knew this whole thing was over in 3 minutes. We've never seen any, he used the word ferocity. The ferocity of these planes from 17 different angles, and it was over. They went inside. And remember, that was on a military base with thousands of soldiers. And those soldiers looked and they said, get the hell out of here. Thousands, we didn't have thousands. We had like 200 people. So, we have a great military, and I'll tell you what, somehow this rescue captured the world's attention, more so than normally. You're talking about 2 people, but this rescue captured the world's attention, but we did it in Venezuela. That was...
One Love says, UBI, Universal Basic Income, get ready. I hope not. Somebody in the chat just mentioned that the Fed purchased a lot of Bitcoin, and we researched that, and it seems like it is in fact true that the Feds did. And what they can do with that, who knows, because the reason people purchased that was to not be centralized, but the centralized banking system now has control over that, which is kind of like that game Monopoly.
Are you allowed to, or are you willing to end this conflict with Iran charging tolls for passage through the strait?
Us charging tolls?
Iran.
What about us charging tolls?
Yeah, let me know which one Trump invests in. I'm ready to copy too, buddy.
Is that something you're considering?
I'd rather do that than let them have them, right? Why shouldn't we? We're the winner. We won, okay? They are militarily defeated. The only thing they have is the psychology of, oh, we're going to drop a couple of mines in the water, all right? No, we have a concept where we'll charge tolls, okay? I thought you meant us. Your question would have been more accurate if you said us. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So just to clarify, in order for Iran to successfully meet your deadline tomorrow, do they have to make a deal, open the strait, or both?
We have to have a deal that's acceptable to me. And part of that deal is going to be, we want free traffic of oil and everything else.
Mr. President, thank you very much. You've said glory be to
Damage Inc. says for every 10K you put into your bank, it automatically gets invested into Bitcoin. Is that accurate? My goodness. Oh my goodness. Expose these DE-vills. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
God in this conflict. Do you believe that God supports the United States' actions in this
I do,
war?
because
And have you
God
sought
is
his direction?
good. Because God is good, and God wants to see people taken
God
care
is
of.
good.
God doesn't like what's happening. I don't like what's happening. Everyone says I enjoy it. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy it. These two guys don't enjoy it. You know, people say, "Oh boy, they're so tough." I don't like seeing people killed. I've ended 8 wars. Nobody's ever done it. The person who won the Nobel Prize came to me and said, "You deserve the Nobel Prize." She announced that. When they announced, they said, "Goes to Maria. She's a great person, really a good person." She said, No. This is ridiculous. They gave me the Nobel Prize. President Trump ended 8 wars. I could go over every one of them, including India and Pakistan, where the Prime Minister of Pakistan said, President Trump saved from 30 to 50 million lives. That makes me much happier than what we're doing right now. That makes me much happier. We have one more to end, by the way.
President, you called yesterday in your truth.
Okay, so allegedly, now it says the Fed owns 0 Bitcoin. The U.S. government owns seized Bitcoin. That's the real story. Not the central bank buying crypto, but Treasury holding confiscated Bitcoin like digital gold. How is that even possible? What in the world? That's wild.
Billion targets, though. I'm thinking schools,
I don't want
or
to tell you
hospitals.
that.
All right, so someone in the chat asked, what are the 8 conflicts Trump is usually claiming that he ended? Israel-Hamas Gaza war, Israel-Iran war, India-Pakistan, Thailand-Cambodia, Armenia-Azerbaijan, Rwanda-Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt-Ethiopia, Serbia-Kosovo.
I don't want to tell you that. We have a plan because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock.
I'm just trying to bring you guys the truth, you know. Just trying to bring you the truth.
Every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock. And it'll happen.
What?
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
No, not yet, but soon, hopefully. Soon.
Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
There you go. Yeah, if they want.
Happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen. If I ever do this again, that's going to be the head of my Joint Chiefs of Staff. And we worked it that way, didn't we? It's amazing. He took out ISIS. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks. I was told it would take 4 years. I flew to Iraq to find out with the greatest equipment in the world. Why would it take?
One Love says Trump with the light blue tie is funnier than the red tie one. Yeah, he's a little more serious with the red tie, right?
Like 4 years.
He's loose.
And he told me, and he said, you know, we're seeing something moving up in the mountain. This is at night. And they kept the camera on him for 45 minutes. He wasn't moving. And they said, you know, probably wrong, but we're seeing something moving. This is a vast mountain. Vast, thick, with bushes, trees. He said, we see something moving 40 miles away. It was the head of a human being, I'm telling you, it's moving. And then all of a sudden, 45 minutes later, he moved a lot. stood up and they said, we have him. And that was really the beginning of something incredible. We had an idea where he was, but not specifically. That's a big mountain. So I want to thank the CIA, too. I don't think they get enough credit for the great job they've done. Yes, please. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for this great opportunity. Country, it has super army. You make a difference, Mr. President. Thank you for your greatest leadership.
Thank you.
I have 2 quick questions, Mr. President. What was your reaction when you learned that Kurdistan region had resumed exporting oil to the international market with your support as United States of America?
Well, I expected that. We've gotten along with the Kurds for a long time, so I expected that.
Another question, what would be your
Liam Reg, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Everything helps.
reaction if the Iranian people rise up against their regime during a ceasefire, Mr. President?
Well, they should do it, but again, the consequences are great. I mean, they were told if you protest.
There you go. NGAX is actually, I can't even blame Trump half the time. It's the people in his ear pushing and pulling him to do idiotic things. Yeah, it seems like that, he's not in an easy spot for sure. Absolutely.
You will be shot immediately. You saw what happened to the young wrestler. He was a great champion, by the way. He was a great wrestler, one of the top in the world. And he and his 2 friends were hung.
There we go. John McDonald jumping in the chat saying President Donald Trump is absolutely brilliant. Love it. There you go. Some encouragement for POTUS right there. We're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
And all they did was say a little bit about liberty. They wanted liberty.
James Irwin says he has no free will of his own. I think at this position, it'd be very hard for him to have any type of free will.
And they were violently plan of all, but I'm not going to tell you what my plan is. They want me to say, here's my plan. We're going to attack at 9:47 in the morning, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to. And if you don't do that, they say, I have a plan. These people know what the plan is. Everybody here knows what the plan is, but it's very unfair to say we don't. Because I don't mind being insulted. I've been insulted for many years.
Cheers, John.
By the fake news.
Thank you.
You can't. It's so bad for people that are so you just saw 2 great and John Ratcliffe, 3 unbelievable people. They have a plan. Every single thing has been thought out by all of us.
Terry jumping down the chat saying, we haven't heard a peep from that so-called hero they rescued in Iran. Where is he? Who is he? What's the big secret surrounding him? Great question, Terry. Great question. If you have any info, let me know. You can throw that into my Discord and I'll bring it up over here. Great question, man. Thank you, buddy.
But I can't reveal the plan to the media. So, but we're just thrilled by the success of this operation. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
One Love dropping some knowledge saying off-grid is a new mansion. Do not underestimate its possibilities. The Amish have batteries that have been powering their farms for over 60 years. The same batteries. There you go. They're doing something right. Zero Down syndrome, zero autism. They're eating healthy, staying active. I think that's part of life. You want to be healthy. You got to move around a little bit. You got to eat healthy food and stay hydrated. So yeah, Amish are definitely doing something right.
500,000 women, and they were all enthused, and they were going to protest, and everybody said, oh, the regime's going to come to an end. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, 5, 6 different.
Gabriela Reyes, weekend at Donnie's. That's funny. We got Thorn 6809 saying the shotdown, quote, shotdown pilots were a cover-up for a failed operation in Iran. Accurate or not accurate? Very, very interesting.
Different areas. A woman would go down right between the eyes. They had snipers. They had 5 snipers. That's all it took. And those 400,000 or 500,000 women said, oh my God, what's that? Oh, look over there. What's that? A woman shot right between the eyes. And after 5.
All right, so this is the request about Los Angeles zombies.
It is the final weekend before California's primary with a tight Los Angeles mayoral race and a crowded field competing to succeed Governor Gavin.
W's in the chat for a woman that looks like a woman. Yeah, buddy. One Love says they do not take phones or electricity inside the house. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference.
Newsom. Our Matt Finn joins us live with the very latest from California. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Aisha. LA Mayor Bass is kicking off her final weekend of campaigning here with a rally at the SCIU Workers Union. This is at MacArthur Park, a historic location here in Los Angeles where the feds just did a notable fentanyl raid a few weeks ago. They followed up with some additional drug busts. And just yesterday, they announced they arrested a man who they say is a convicted murderer, an MS-13 rival gang member who was paid $58,000 last year in city tax money to be a, quote, peace ambassador at the park under Mayor Bass's watch. Now, open drug use and homelessness has been a key issue here in the LA mayor's race. Bass says homelessness is down in her term, but promises to, quote, do an absolute overhaul and reconstruction of the homeless system if she's reelected. Now, when Bass was asked about polls showing the race tightening between herself, Spencer Pratt, and Councilwoman Nithya Raman, Bass said some of the polls show her in the lead.
And let me just say that it is a close race. I'm not shocked that it's a close race. I feel confident about Tuesday, and of course there are many, many polls.
As the boss says, let's go to LA and vote for Spencer Pratt. There you go. There you go.
Polls around that show different results.
And mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt is coming off a national media blitz in
Speaking of
New York City, where he told Fox News that he does not care about celebrity endorsements and will tackle illegal homeless camping.
Moms are getting...
Yeah, this is the LA zombies right here, buddy. Brought it up just for you.
Me elected because I'm saying, oh, as mayor, I'm going to enforce the law and make sure moms and kids can use their parks again. They can go to school without encampments with drug dealing and naked drug addicts having sex in front of these schools on the sidewalk. I'm stopping this because it's illegal. All these things are illegal.
So Hugh made a good point, a sharp point. The phrase is eminent domain. And the argument is this: when the government takes private property, they don't call it theft. They call it public use. Legally, they're supposed to pay just compensation, right? But morally, a lot of people say, wait, if I don't want to sell and you force me to sell, how is that not legalized robbery, right? And I think he's referring to Bitcoin. Very good point.
And the third top candidate here in Los Angeles, Councilwoman Nithya Raman, held an event yesterday promising to restore jobs to Hollywood. That is obviously another critical issue here in Los Angeles. We were just inside Mayor Bass's rally, a pretty strong, energetic crowd inside for a Saturday morning. We're going to step back in and we'll keep you updated on what she says, Aisha.
One love. Okay, yeah, let's do it. TK would like to challenge me on the Amish statement. We will both donate $500 to your show. Loser don't get his back. Let's rock, TK. All right, sounds good. There you go. Oi, oi, how you doing, buddy? I saw a video of an Amish guy with batteries on his buggy for... Go figure, go figure. W's in the chat for oi, oi. Check it out. Oi, oi has his awesome logo right here. What a brilliant logo, man. Got another logo. Got his little martini glass. Got the chat right there, the sparkling chat. We got this one. Got some chat, some martinis. And Jason Beatrice also won some free logos. The voice of the chat, Jason Beatrice. Outspoken, witty, pro-USA. Yeah, so some of the perks that you get as a member of the channel. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Okay, I know you'll ask her all the tough questions as soon as she speaks. Matt Finn live for us. Thank you very much. Let's bring in Fox News contributor and host of the Hugh Hewit Show, Hugh Hewit. Thank you very much, sir, for joining me. Pratt is surging, and I know Mayor Karen Bass said that she's not shocked over the numbers. I think everyone else is in America watching this. I want to put up the poll, the most recent poll here on the screen here for our viewers. This is the latest Berkeley IGS poll. It shows 26% of voters are voting for Karen Bass. Prat has 22%. The number you don't see on the screen there is the undecided, Hugh. That's 10%. And that's a big block. A block that hasn't decided which way they're going to go yet. And that's a block that Spencer Pratt is going after right now. So how do you see this playing out? People ask me all the time, does he have a chance? What do you think?
Yes, and greetings from California. Aisha, I've been out here for a few days just to see what's going on the ground. And I lived here from 1989 to 2016. So I'm very interested in LA.
We're checking to see if he has a mask. It looks like he does not have a mask.
The nightly news in LA for 10 years, 92 to 2002. Spencer Pratt has a chance because he put his finger on the third rail, which is homelessness. And homelessness is epic in LA. It's like the zombie apocalypse downtown. And it's a city of 3.7 to 4 million people. And you can't get away from it. It's very alarming. It does threaten moms. And Spencer Pratt talks about homeless drug addicts.
Jiggly Bandito says it's all rigged. No point. We are doomed. No, bro. No. Do not lose your faith. Do not lose your faith. Do not lose hope, buddy. A lot of people say, yeah, it's rigged. But what can we do about it? We can kind of see what they're saying and then see how we can navigate through this situation in our lives and just try to make the best out of it, you know. And it's always good to see what's going on. And Jiggly Bandito, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying that optimism and perspective has a huge, huge impact. Does your perspective shape the way you navigate life? 75% said yes. So just going back on that poll we had a few days ago.
In every setting, every day. And so he is drilling into what bothers Angelenos, as well as the fires, as well as the epic mismanagement. Karen Bass is
True. Damage is one of the original. That's right, brother. That is right.
Terrible mayor, and everybody knows it. Can he get the second place? And does he have a conceivable chance? He'll need a lot more money. It is not an accident that the mayor is with the Service Employees International Union today. It's a union-run town. It's a union-run election. Steve Hilton, who's running for...
Oz the boss dropping some heat in the chat saying if Democrats say that asking for a voter ID is racist, then we can go to LA to vote for Spencer. There you go, buddy. That's right, Jiggly Bandito. We do need Jesus 100%, brother.
Our governor is up against the teachers' unions and the SEIU, but Spencer Pratt has hit...
What happened? One Love, did you win?
The third rail, as has Steve Hilton, which is homelessness and chaos. A sense of insecurity everywhere. Good for him. He's running a good campaign.
Well, it sounds like he's taking a page out of Donald J. Trump's.
Hugh says, people say they're undecided means they are closeted Republicans. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. We have the best chat in the world.
Playbook, campaign playbook, because I remember covering him and he spoke a lot of common sense and he spoke to a lot of people that felt marginalized by the Democrats. This is Spencer Pratt on just with Kayleigh McEnany talking about the moms that are coming out for him. Watch this.
Moms.
Once the moms start going after him, you know, it's game time.
Are getting me elected because I'm saying, oh, as mayor, I'm going to enforce the law and make sure moms and kids can use their parks again. They can go to school without encampment.
As they should, 100%. 100%.
With drug dealing and naked drug addicts having sex in front of these schools on the sidewalk, I'm stopping this because it's illegal. We are going to make sure that moms feel safe in Los Angeles.
Oi, saying smoke them if you got them. Fifth cataclysm incoming, unless you are underground and have hydro. Well, it's been a fun ride. Be good to each other. Yeah, that's right. Be good to each other.
Los Angeles. That is my #1 priority.
I also find his AI ads really interesting, and I think he's doing a really good job with them. I've never really seen this in an election before, so maybe this is the future of elections here in America. But these ads, especially the ones where you've got people saying, I'm not MAGA, I'm not a Donald Trump voter, but I like Spencer Pratt. I mean, that's
true. Mama Bears determine elections. Yeah. And women are powerful. Very, very powerful. More powerful than they actually know in a lot of cases.
That's really interesting.
And shout out to the 21% female audience that is part of our subscriber list. We love you. Everybody loves you.
You're so on it, Aisha. He released one yesterday about catching Pratt, and it's about a mom bringing a daughter who's going to vote for Pratt to the ER. It's hilarious, and it's long form, right? It doesn't fit the 30 or the 60-second deal, but it goes viral, and it gets him looks. You're also very right about the Donald Trump playbook. Trump won all 7 states in 2024, swing states, because he spoke to those people who did not feel like the American political elite saw them, heard them, or cared about them. Spencer Pratt is talking to the people who lost their homes in the fire. He's talking to people who have to encounter homelessness every day. Steve Hilton's doing the same thing in the governor's race, and so it'll be interesting.
So as far as that negative stuff, we gotta let some truth in first. Do not let doom talk, like this doom talk, steal your peace. It's very, very important to consider that. The world has always had chaos. The real flex is staying calm, staying useful, loving your family, and being good to people when everybody else is panicking. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
LA's got between 3.5, 4 million people. California's got between 39 and 40 million. It's hard to model the polling because you have no idea who's going to turn out, and it's been that way forever. So I just don't trust polling, but I do believe in quality campaigns, and Spencer Pratt, Steve Hilton, they're running quality campaigns.
Yeah. Well, nationally, the Democrats, I think, feel the wind behind their backs, and they feel like they're doing pretty well. But then this happened, the whole Jill Biden thing this week kind of threw them for a loop because I don't think they were expecting the Bidens to keep talking and keep reappearing. This is the president on Truth Social talking about what the bombshell Jill Biden threw on all of us when she said that she thought maybe her husband was having a stroke during that infamous debate. He writes, Jill Biden is now out there finally admitting that she did not know what went wrong with Sleepy Joe during our spectacular and highly rated 2024 presidential debate, where Joe was not exactly performing to the highest level of debate standards. She said that she thought
TK at the Ritz dropping some heat in the chat, man. There you go, buddy. Can't read any of your chats. There you go, Hugh, giving the gaslight emoji. There you go. One Love saying Warren Buffett said to buy in chaos, then sell when everyone is buying. Very, very wise decision.
he was having a stroke and various other really bad things. I think she also, in The Atlantic, in an excerpt, says that she thought maybe he had been drugged, that somebody had drugged him, which I find baffling. I mean, doesn't this make the whole DNC autopsy report deal even worse? That they not just missed the age part, but they missed all of this. Why didn't they go in and interview Jill Biden?
I've said it before. The autopsy is actually an alibi. It's got nothing to do with what happened. Dr. Jill Biden's comment. Our friends over at the Ruthless Podcast, boy, I can't use the language they use or the metaphors they use, but this was just simply an extraordinary reveal by Dr. Jill Biden.
Oi, oi, dropping some heavy stuff, saying the only difference now as the last time the self-called elitists tried this, they did not have the tech that they have today. Do not let data centers be built. It will be the end of humanity. What's the reason we shouldn't let data centers be built? Is it because of the water and all that type of stuff? Thank you, TK. Appreciate it, brother. Mr. Cousins says, need data centers to collect data on you. There you go. There you go. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Blood Rain saying they're trying hard to build AI data centers in Minnesota, and we're fighting them hard. There you go, Blood Rain. More power to you if that's the right thing to do. Do you guys think you're gonna win? That's big money there, you know.
Trying to sell books, and I get that. And she's trying to rehab the speaking fees. There's no income coming in. I get all that, but it does land with the ordinary American like us. I've been calling Joe Biden infirm since 2020, and it got worse by 2024, and everybody could see it. And so I don't know what to believe about Dr. Biden. It would require a deposition and under oath, and that's not a book promo tour, right? But book promos are about selling books, and so she can say a lot of different things in a lot of
Blood Rain, which one is it in? You said it's prophesized?
different places. But the DNC Rules Committee, now they've got to figure out, what do we do with this disaster of an autopsy alibi and then this former First Lady who's revealing what everyone knew, which is the Democratic Party elite lied to us.
That's a huge problem. One Love says the problem with data centers is that we, the public, are paying for them. Same as the pharmaceutical research. There you go. Yeah, Ozda Boss, thank you, buddy. Come on, chat, like the stream. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Help support this channel and become part of the best chat in the world. I see the numbers going up. I love every single one of you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much.
Not just during COVID, but during President Biden's presidency. What do we do with that? And there are no answers.
I mean, somebody had to have lied. You can't have two different versions of the story and not expect people at home to think, you lied to us. At some point, you lied to us either back then or now. Hugh, always great to have you.
And whenever people lie, they lose credibility. Huge thing, huge thing. No worries, Blood Rain. All good, brother. Happy to have you in here.
Thanks for being out there.
Connecting Rabbit Hole says, just call it control centers. That's what they are. Are you talking about like control as in they're controlling our data? What do you mean by that? Oi Oi says, once the data centers are built, the AI will become truly conscious and will destroy humanity. Hopefully you're wrong, buddy. I hope you're wrong. And if so, the Lord is in control. But also, what type of AI would want to hurt people like me and you and everybody else in the chat? We've got the best chat in the world. What are they going to do without us? Come on, come on. We're so important.
In LA for us, and let us know if you hear anything else. Appreciate it.
I will. Thank you.
W's in the chat for females who look like females. That never gets old. What in the world? Iranian suspect plotted to extinguish Ivanka? My goodness. Come on, man. What are these people doing?
Well, as President Trump weighs a deal to extend the ceasefire with Iran by 60 days, we are learning more about an Iranian assassination plot targeting President Trump's daughter, Ivanka, to avenge the killing of a top military chief. Senior foreign policy correspondent Jillian Turner has the latest details from the State Department on that.
Thank you, TK. Appreciate it, buddy.
For us. Hi, Jillian.
Hi, Sandra. Well, the story of terrorists plotting.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, One Love. Good idea. One Love says, I just liked and saved the stream by saving or telling YouTube. You love the stream. It boosts the algorithm. Oh, man, I love you, man. You're awesome. Thank you so much for your support, brother. Appreciate it.
To take out the president of the United States is something that we as Americans are all too familiar with at this point. But terrorists plotting to take out the president's children is really an entirely new horror. And apparently this is the world we
That's too far, man. Like the children, they're innocent, right? Come on.
are now living in, because there are new court filings that reveal a
Jiggly Bandito says it's for mass AI surveillance of the population. Yeah. Blood Rain says AI is dangerous because they require massive amounts of water and have little to no regulations. It's very loud and makes our energy more expensive. True. Just like the case in Lake Tahoe, where by 2027, every single resident of Lake Tahoe is going to have to find a new energy provider. And how are you going to do that? What are you going to do? Solar? Water power? What are you going to do with that? It's hard. Oi says, we trained the AI. What are we all about? War. Unfortunately. Yeah. But, you know, the thing is, it's the greed. It's the greed. There's no real reason for war unless to protect yourself. There's so much greed.
Alleged terror plot targeting the president's family. This by the notorious security service in Iran. They pledged apparently to murder first daughter Ivanka Trump. Blood Rain saying, I'm so attracted to Ivanka almost as much as somebody else. I'm not going to say that. The suspect's plan was so far advanced that he actually had obtained a blueprint of her $24 million Florida home, according to the New York Post. The suspect posted as well a chilling message.
To add to that, TK, did you know that if you ever purchase a car brand new, like from the dealership, and you have monthly payments on it, they have GPS trackers on each one of those cars. And what do they have those there for? If you decide not to pay, they know exactly where the car is. And it's connected to a little battery line to your battery. And it's usually stuck to the side of the car. And yeah, just a little fun fact that a lot of people just don't know, that you're being tracked constantly with your Apple Watch and iPhone and all those types of things. But I think a lot of people know that already. And with the technology these days, who knows what they can do with cars? You know, it's a lot of those people, they're thinking, you know what, I just want an ICE vehicle that was made in the 80s, something that is internal combustion engine, no electronics at all, and I control the steering wheel, you know.
On social media, which translates in English to, quote, I say to the Americans, look at this picture and know that neither your palaces nor the Secret Service will protect you. We are currently in the stage of surveillance and analysis. I told you, our revenge is a matter of time. Let's talk about the suspect. His name is Mohammed al-Sadi. He's a 32-year-old Iraqi national who is affiliated with Iran's IRGC. He now stands accused.
Oh my God, G-host. I'm not going to read that. That's wild, bro, if that's true. Or are you just talking about it extinguishes the engine, not the actual individual?
Of taking part in as many as up to 20 different terror attacks on Americans. He was taken into FBI custody after agents identified his revenge plot. He had hoped to avenge the killing of Iranian military chief Qasem Soleimani.
Oh my God, dude, that's invasion of privacy. TK says, my friend drove his dad's vehicle last week, connected his phone to Bluetooth, went over the speed limit. The following Monday, insurance canceled his policy. My, oh my, what in the world? Yeah, SOS Liberal says, they can control your speed and disable your brakes. Unreal.
In a U.S. drone strike 6 years ago, just yesterday, President Trump talked about the threats he
W's in the chat for a woman that looks like a woman. There we go. Either way, have a drink. There you go, buddy.
himself has faced.
Look, anybody in office, not only in this country, in other countries too, but when you are a consequential president, your life is in grave danger. I knew that.
It's extraordinary, Sandra, that this all went down while the Iranians were allegedly trying to negotiate a deal with President Trump.
Jillian, live at the State Department with that for us. Jillian, thank you. John.
Oh, Julian. There you go. Well-dressed females. So allegedly, Hollywood does not want Spencer Pratt to be involved. And we have actor Scott Baio explains why they won't let Spencer Pratt win. We'll give this guy like 10, 15 seconds, see if it's good.
Our big California correspondent who's been following the Pratt-Bass race incredibly closely. What's shaking out there, Baio?
First of all, I don't think in the history of mankind, since we have been speaking, using words, the words, my neighbor with a uterus has ever been put in that order before.
Yeah, my neighbor with a uterus, right? That was hilarious. One Love says, also the new cards will be harder to sell because you will need to transfer digital information. No more just signing over the title. Yeah, they're going to have so much info on the cards as well.
That is, these people are crazy.
Sean. Colt dropping some heat in the chat saying, what is a liberal? An N4ZI in disguise. Oh my goodness, bro. That's hilarious. A lot of people think that, you know, a lot of people think that. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Well, you know, Jesse, I live in Florida, right? I left that crazy place. And here's what I think.
Like everybody else
did. I think
did.
Spencer Pratt, who, yeah, exactly right. Good to see you, by the way.
You too.
Thank you. I think he has a shot to win this, but I don't think they're going to let him win. I don't know how anybody goes against that California political machine and wins.
When you say...
for the most part, I agree with you, Oz the Boss, saying we do not listen to actors. They are dumb. 99.9999%. But I think what this guy is saying is... maybe a little accurate. Maybe he's paid to say this, though. You know, he could be a hot-headed liberal. You know,
they're not going to let him win. You don't think the vote is going to be copacetic?
Whatever they have to do. There is no way and this is my opinion, and call me a conspiracy nut. I don't think it.
I can't read that. But that's funny, man.
I don't think anybody can beat Bass or Tom Steyer. And I love Steve Hilton, and I love Spencer Pratt, but they will do whatever to keep these guys out because I don't think they can't stop the money train. They can't stop it. It's too much money being thrown around in that.
That's such a good point because they're just paying everybody off with homeless money and fire money. And that gravy train can't stop. And if he goes in there and looks under the hood, people should be behind bars. But listen, Trump won. He came back. He won it. It was too big to rig. Does that right. What Spencer has to do?
I got to tell you, man, I hope so. I hope he wins because Southern California, Los Angeles, was one of the great cities on the planet. And it's a hellscape, and it's unfortunate. But if he wins it by a lot, then he's
Miguel. How you doing, buddy?
He's got a shot. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you've got 90%, maybe more, of the politicians in California are
Andrew jumping in the chat saying, remember the anti-Trump people are the same ones who say math and science are colonialism. And we need to return to monkey and live like Stone Age to confront minorities.
Liberal Democrats. I don't know how you defeat that, but I pray to God that he wins.
We all do. Those of us who believe in God and believe in California and its great promise. Jill Biden,
right.
Coming out of hibernation with a book. Couple mil advance, I'm sure, saying she thought Joe was either on drugs or had a stroke on debate night. Is it? You buying that?
No. I believe that she's covering her rear end on this. For 4 years.
So allegedly, George Patton's staff car collided with a truck in Mannheim, Germany, paralyzing him. He was extinguished OTD in 1945 from his injuries. The car was later restored and is now on display in the U.S. Army's General George Patton Museum of Leadership in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Yeah, wonder what they restored that vehicle for. My, oh my.
For 4 years, we knew. Everybody on the planet knew the guy was going. She's just saying that, I think, because now she has plausible deniability. Oh, he was fine before, but that night, I don't know what the hell happened to him. And then afterward, he was fine again. Did they drug him? I think the good doctor does not want to give up the limelight. I really don't. I think that's why she pushed that poor old man to keep running. I mean, giving up the big plane, Jesse, is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
The trappings of power. Once you get a fix, it's very hard. That's why people like Maxine Waters are like 108 and they're still in Congress. It's like the free cars, the free food, the free gym, the free everything.
God bless her.
God bless her. No relation.
Oh my God.
There you go. You can say that. It's cool.
Scott, we got to
Yes, I
run.
know that.
It was good to see you, and
Yes, sir.
we'll see you down in Florida soon. All right.
Well, she had a stroke, but now she's doing better. That's good, right? Blue Origins, a 1 billion rocket exploded. My oh my. Bezos isn't happy about this one.
Connor said that, yesterday was a bad day for going to space, but it was a good day for explosions. Bezos is doing his thing with Blue Origin. And so everybody's watching this clip, and what I thought it's, half the time nowadays when you see stuff when you're scrolling, like, why is this clip showing up everywhere? It's just AI.
Yep.
But no, this is what happened yesterday. This is the Blue Origin. Look at this explosion. Oh my God.
It is good to look. It's so awesome to look at, though.
Gnarly, dude. What in the world?
Pat, come on.
Wow, that so messes up his carbon footprint.
By the way, we're breathing all that. By the way,
No matter how far you are, like if you're
carbon credits
if you're
is
looking,
that?
you felt that.
Oh yeah,
you felt that. Okay, so
Rob, there's clips of it.
Where's Al Gore?
Go to this with Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos tweeted about it. If you want to go to it, Jeff Bezos, he's been on trending stories the last week quite a lot.
Night Fright Talk Show saying, I'm 61 years old and being a long-time Republican, I've never seen or heard from adults protesting. Have to name calling being the number one topic. People grow up. There you go, buddy. There you go. Grow up. Oz the Boss, props to Elon Musk.
But he tweeted about it to give an update. This is go a little bit lower. All personnel are accounted for and safe.
I love the first
It's
statement.
too early to know the root cause.
There you go. That's good. Thankfully, all souls are safe.
But we're already working to find it. Very rough day, but we'll rebuild whatever needs to rebuilding and get back to flying. It's worth it. Do me a favor, open it up with there you go. And look who comments at the top. Okay, look who comments at the top.
Ad astra per aspera. What does that mean?
Well, Rob's Twitter is Latin, because
gotcha.
Rob likes it Latin. So through
hardships to the stars. That's amazing.
I love that instead of taking that opportunity to
W's to Elon Musk. That's really cool, bro. Helping competition. That's amazing. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Call him out or do any of that stuff. He gives him a compliment. And, I said to him, you guys will figure it out. All the best. And it was interesting seeing. It's a very difficult business to get into, Tom. When you see the explosion and what happened, what stories do you know about it? What facts do you have about what happened there?
Well, you know what? It's a test firing. And if you go back in time and you'll find the Apollo mission, there were test firings on the launch pad. Not Apollo, but with the early space program. We had missiles, and then we put, a chimpanzee into space. Then we had Mercury, Gemini, Apollo. We went in order. That's exactly what Elon Musk went through. And Elon Musk has had test firings. He's had a
great call, Oz the Boss. Nice done.
Rocket that launches short distance, and it goes, guess what? One of the perfect things he said was one of his first. Elon has tweeted a couple things on this. All of them are understanding and compassionate about the entrepreneur. It was a test fire.
That's amazing. It is good to compliment your competition. It's good to want the best for people, even the people trying to win in the same arena as you, because if you only feel strong when someone else is losing, that is not strength. That is fear. Real strength says, I hope you do great. I hope you grow. I hope you win. And I'm still going to give my best as well. Competition makes us sharper, not smaller. It should make us better, not bitter. So whoever's working hard, building something, chasing a dream, trying to be better. Even if they are in your lane, bless them. Let them rise. There's enough room for excellence, and the best victory is becoming the kind of person who can win without hating anybody.
Firing that went.
We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Went badly, and you know.
User TT, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
What? I love Bezos' first comment. All people are accounted for and safe. In other words, all the scientists, everybody, we're way over here. Kaboom. Whoops. All right. Well, let's go back and once the fire goes out, let's see if we can figure out in the wreckage of, what went wrong and get it. But every space program has this. Every has it. This is trial and error. You think A/B testing on social media ads?
How big it is in a plane.
Pat, that's 50 miles away.
Stop it, Rob.
50 miles. Imagine you're on a plane and you're like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And you don't know what the hell's going on. It's a nuke. No. Pat, think about it.
Do it again, Rob?
Yeah.
Go back again from the top.
Could you imagine you're coming in for landing? Hey everybody, welcome to the left. Look to the left, and oh my God, that's a nuclear weapon. Go back to the other one, Rob. Show the one that I sent you, Pat. Could you imagine, guys, before you play it, you're at a bar, you're drinking, you have no idea that there's even a rocket launch test, whatever, and look at this, Pat. Could you imagine that? It looks like a nuke.
By the way, you know how much total damage was done in dollars?
How much?
Dollars.
Okay? Taxpayer analyst.
Aerospace analyst.
TK, I heard that Elon did say AI will replace American jobs and no one will work. So how will Americans pay their notes and feed their families? Great question. Great question.
Are saying the alleged cost, damage, new Glen rocket destroyed, $150 to $300 million.
Jiggly Bandito's not holding back, bro.
Launchpad repairs, the LC-36,
I didn't know that.
$50 to $200 million. Testing equipment, ground systems, $10 to $100 million. Launch delays, investigation, lost revenue, tens to hundreds of millions of dollars.
Able to buy it on your
industry
MasterCard?
observers are saying at the low end minimum, it's $250 million, upwards of $1 billion of loss to what happened yesterday.
Stick to Amazon and let Elon do it. Just let Elon do it. We're good.
Pat, there's another part to it. But what was learned? There's going to be a bunch that was learned. This is the entrepreneurial process.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, listen, for sure. Look, for us.
Double M makes a valid point. Trump does not care about us. Absolutely. Unfortunately. Possibly. You never know. I don't know. I never met him. Seems like he could. Seems like he's trying to do good, but you obviously do not know when it comes to politics and politicians.
Yesterday, we have things that you're going to make mistakes with as an operator, no matter what company and things that you do. But you have to learn from it. You have to move on from it. You have to kind of see what adjustments you have to make. Man up, take the responsibility and move on, make it better. And for me, there's no way you're worth a few $100 billion because you got everything right. Mm-hmm. You're worth a few $100 billion because you did a lot of things that went wrong and you learned from it and you adjusted. While you're in the spotlight, everybody bashing you, calling you this and this and that, and he has gotten to this point. So I'm looking forward to the recovery from this to see what they do next. And knowing Bezos, you're going to see the next story. And I think the day it happens where they have a successful launch, you know who I think is going to retweet the succccessful launch? I think Elon Musk will retweet the successful launch.
That's awesome.
Shout out, Adam.
I fully agree with you. I'll just give it a little spice to it. I think they're actually becoming more aligned than ever. Because I said on the last podcast, I think that, the enemy of the enemy is my friend. I think they're realizing what this socialist, Marxist, communist, woke agenda is taking.
Blood Rain. I hope he does. I'm not saying he does, but I hope. I have optimism. I hope he does for sure. Oh no. The cat beating me up, dude. Making some stupid remarks, bro. Goodness gracious. I hope he does. Gotta stay optimistic. Thank you, Jiggly Bandito. Happy to have you on board, buddy.
Taking over. They see what's going on in New York. They see what's going on in California. And they're realizing we're in this thing together, guys. And so Blue Origin rocket blows up horribly. And let me get this straight. Elon Musk, competitor to Jeff Bezos, tweets, didn't he say something about rockets are tough? And then the future is into the moon. Basically, here's where I'm going with this. You've talked about this before. a public loss like this, Pat, I don't think we understand this. Like, for someone like Jeff Bezos, okay, think about the most public loss you've ever had, whoever you are watching this right now. You lost the Super Bowl. You lost the big game. This guy's rocket blew up and lost how many $100 million?
$52 billion.
And everyone...
Didn't he just say he lost $1 billion?
Everyone's talking about it, and your chief competitor is like, hey, man, sorry about that. You know, dust it off, get back out there. Go invest the money that they want you to that they want to tax, and go build another rocket. So, like Tom said, you don't win or lose, you win or learn. And I think he'll learn from this and get better. And shout out to the entrepreneurs who are doing stuff like this. And I'll end with this. The money that you're not taxing, Mamdani or Bezos or whoever, he can go afford to buy a new rocket because it costs $100 million. Are you going to pay for that? Because he will.
Yeah. That's a good point. There's a big game coming up around the...
Huge explosion, man. Look at that thing, man. Just bam. $1 billion gone in a few seconds. Unreal, man. Unreal. Hugh says that's the reason they say it isn't rocket science. Building rockets is not easy. There you go. Terry, I did not notice the Freudian slip. What? The racket. Oh. Did he say it towards the end? That's true. Connecting Rabbit Hole says politicians follow goals, nothing to do with left or right. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. Trump unloads on artists snubbing America. What? What in the world?
Okay, moments ago, President Trump says he will
How you doing? I don't know how to say her name. Anna?
will actually give a major speech at the Freedom 250 concert.
Competitor is like, hey, man, sorry about that. You know,
He said it over here.
dust it off, get back out there. Go invest the money
Barney, how you doing, buddy?
that they want you to that they want to tax, and go build another racket.
Oh, go build another racket. Oh, taxpayer money?
Competitor is like, hey, man, sorry about that. You know, dust it off, get back out there. Go invest the money that they want you to that they want to tax, and go build another racket.
The Freudian slip. Terry caught it, bro. Terry is not messing around. We got the best chat in the world. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Got the best chat in the world. Dude, Terry, good catch, bro. Good catch. Eagle eye over there, bro. Communication sniper. There you go, broski.
That's for America's 250th birthday. And look
Impressive.
into holding an America is Back rally to
Connecting Rabbit Hole saying EU is bragging about rigging European elections. Oh, but Adam corrected himself. Oh, so what does that mean then?
out there. Go invest the money that they want you to that they want to tax, and go build another racket. Rocket. So it.
Okay, so he did correct himself. So maybe, what does it mean?
place the 5 artists that have now announced that they are canceling, backing out, including Martina McBride and Bret Michaels. The musicians are citing politics as their reason for canceling. For more, let's bring in the Federalist reporter, Brianna Lyman. Brianna, great to have you. So we mentioned Martina McBride.
Oh my gosh, W's in the chat for women who look like women. Love it. Teach me something, please. Trump says he will give speech in lieu of concert.
She was the most recent, I think yesterday. I want to pull up the post here on X because this is how she explained why she's backing out. She says, I was presented with an opportunity to perform at a nonpartisan event, but that turned out to be misleading. I asked a lot of questions and was assured this was a nonpartisan event that was meant to celebrate all 50 states. And she goes on to say, yesterday things started changing, and what we were told is, in fact, no, that's not what is happening. So President Trump comes out on True Social today and says, you know what? I'm going to make a speech. He says, I'm going to take the place of these highly paid third-rate artists and give a major speech rallying the country forward like I have done ever since being president. I mean, what a clapback here to all these people who,
W's.
Committed to something, a major event, and then just backed out.
Yeah, and I agree with the president that a lot of them were third-rate artists who may have been in their heyday.
True, Oz. True.
30, 40 years ago, but they're certainly not in their prime, so to speak, now. But I would say, I think I'd rather President Trump send his administration down to Nashville and get a...
She's so pretty. She almost looks like AI. Goodness gracious. Connecting rabbit holes. Come on, as if Biden's NWO was a great thing. When she said she went to perform, I gasped. Oh my gosh. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Come, remember, throw in a super chat if you want.
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
Not yet, not yet. Hopefully soon.
Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
Yeah, girl. We hope so. We hope so.
Local band, an up-and-coming artist who is more talented than any of these third-rate artists and who probably is a lot more patriotic because they would kill for an opportunity to perform at this event. And I think a lot of people would actually like it because...
I don't know, bro. Federalist reporter Brianna Lyman? I think it's Brianna Lyman, if you want to check her out. Brianna Lyman. Images. Yeah, that's her. Brianna Lyman. I'm not really going to dive too deep into that stuff. Try to keep it kind of PG over here, my friends, but there you go.
Because they won't feel like they're being lectured by these elitists. Instead, it's good people with good music, and that's a good way to rally the spirit for 250.
What I don't understand is, like, what is she talking about that when she says that it's not going to be nonpartisan anymore, that somehow it's going to be a political or partisan event? She doesn't explain that in her post exactly what she means by that. But I will say, I think the president...
Oh, are you talking about this lady? Someone McBride. What was her name? Martina McBride.
President could actually maybe get a bigger crowd than some of these artists. I mean, I've been to some of his rallies, and remember Madison Square Garden? He packed that place.
Yeah. Oh, he absolutely could draw.
Oh man, we got the funniest chat in the world.
Crowd, and none of these artists who have dropped out have actually elaborated on what exactly makes it so political. And I think it's unfortunate because I think a large reason for a lot of them pulling out is that there is so much stigma and such a hostile environment created by the left in Hollywood, in sports, that people are...
That's right, Barney. Barney says I would chance it for our 250th year anniversary, making history. That's a big part. Quarter of 1,000 years. Huge situation for sure.
Worried that any kind of even appearance of being close to the president in any capacity could damage their career. And so this is actually the fault of the left kind of co-opting Hollywood, in particular the arts institutions, and making people who even may stray from that ideological thought process that they all have, that they are not allowed to express different beliefs or even be associated with someone who has different...
Smart idea. One Love says, I listen to Trump just to invest, like when he said buy Dell, then gave them $1 billion contract. Yeah, man.
Beliefs. And it's unfortunate because conservatives kind of looked
Smart idea. Good help, too.
away from Hollywood for years, and politics is downstream from culture. Hollywood sets that culture in part. So this is actually just another instance in which we're reminded that we have to focus on other things besides politics. We also have to focus on Hollywood and culture.
Yeah. Something else.
I didn't hear about people canceling their 4th of July celebrations. Is that accurate?
So the president is watching closely is the judge ruling that the Kennedy Center has to remove the president's name from the building. And this is from the Washington Post here. They write, Congress gave the Kennedy Center its name. This is an op-ed, and they say only Congress can change it. Give me your quick take on that before we wrap up the show.
I mean, none of these people who were up in arms over the name change cared when they were changing names of schools and parks and streets in the name of George Floyd, and yet they suddenly care now. And none of them cared enough about the Kennedy Center when it was falling into disrepair and neglect under President Joe Biden. And now not only is the judge saying you can't change the name, he's saying you have to stop renovations. So they kind of screwed themselves over because President Trump wanted to make the Kennedy Center a place that did honor JFK.
Yeah, some Americans are scaling back or canceling, but not most, allegedly. A lot of people are spending less. Some towns are canceling fireworks, and some artists are pulling out of national events, but there's not yet proof that Americans as a whole are canceling the 4th. Got to celebrate the 4th of July, right? Also, you got to think about it. Money is kind of tight. Some towns are canceling fireworks. I personally have seen that. Like, there's signs up saying like fireworks are illegal in this town now. Performers backing out. Maybe they don't want to celebrate with the situation that they're in right now. Cost, politics, safety, exhaustion. Yeah, safety is a pretty big thing, you know, because you hear fireworks, you don't know if it's a firework or something else that's very loud. Loki jumping in on the chat. How you doing, buddy? Yep. And we're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Patriotism is not canceled, but the budget for it is definitely under review.
JFK in a way that he hadn't been honored under past presidents.
Okay, Brianna Lyman, thank you very much.
She's got that smile. She's got a really nice smile.
For coming in on your Saturday. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely like an artist, right? Because she's like glowing. She's glowing so much. Yeah. And the thing about fireworks, there's only a few people that like mess it up, that like ruin it for a lot of us, you know. Some of you were talking about that missing general. Had dinner with that Space Force person. All right.
New police body cam footage may be shedding light on just what happened to missing Air Force General William McCaslin when he just vanished from his New Mexico home. This was in late February. No sign of him since. The 68-year-old once served as the commander of research for the...
That's right, Barney Bell. They want us to live in fear. If we do, they win. That's right. Don't let them win. Come on, yo.
The Air Force Research Laboratory, which has long been rumored to have ties to top-secret UFO research projects, even the alleged Roswell crash. And this new body cam footage, recorded just a few hours after McCaslin vanished, an unidentified female caller speaks to the officer investigating his disappearance, claiming that she not only worked with the general, but she had dinner with him the night before he disappeared. She says they weren't alone. Apparently, members of Space Force, which tracks unidentified objects like UFOs, were also there. She also said McCaslin seemed to be acting out of character. Take a listen.
I was shocked this morning when I saw the alert, because what I noticed Thursday evening is he wasn't his usual self. He was kind of spacey and quiet.
He wasn't his usual self. The caller also filled the officer in on just who McCaslin was and why it was so important to find him.
Right. Does he carry like a security clearance or anything like that?
If that's towards me, Barney Bell, I appreciate it, brother. So awesome. So awesome to have you here, man.
Very classified security clearance. He was the head of Air Force Research Lab. to the point the man's names are in the UFO documents that are going to be released. He's in that in-depth, so he has a very high security clearance.
So what's odd about this is that before this body cam ever rolled, McCaslin's wife posted a plea for help, where she said her missing husband only had, quote, very commonly held clearances since retiring from the Air Force 13 years ago. Though if the caller's claims are to be believed, the missing general may have been more involved in that top secret work than his wife realized. But does it explain McCaslin's disappearance? Joining me now for a closer look is the deputy science editor at the Daily Mail, Chris Malore, who has been covering this story since the beginning. Chris, welcome to the show. A lot to get into. So if the caller's claims are to be believed, McCaslin met with Space Force before he vanished. Do we have any idea why they met? Has Space Force commented on this alleged meeting?
Thank you for having me. Space Force has not commented on this at this point. However, what we do know from the caller, who is still unnamed, so we don't know the validity of the claims. However, this person did say that they were a member or worked with General McCaslin at the Kirtland Partnership. That is a nonprofit which deals with the Air Force base that McCaslin formerly commanded, and also works in the community to basically
Jiggly Bandito could be, bro, but also maybe he just doesn't do squats or push-ups, you know? Yeah, bro, I can make any of your logos an emoji. Oh, for sure. Which one do you want? Or do you want all three? You let me know, bro. I'll make whatever you want. Yeah, this dude does seem a little soft, but he's just got to do some squats, get some testosterone in his body, move his body a little bit, eat healthy.
basically grow the base's assets, their influence. And so meeting with Space Force is heavily involved at Kirtland Air Force Base. It is a major national security complex. So for McCaslin to still be involved to that extent definitely raises questions about the level of clearance he still had.
Yeah, what about the discrepancy there? McCaslin's wife said he had commonly held security clearances. That caller claims he had a high level clearance. What do you make of that?
Well, in the realm of high security.
By the way, if you guys are wondering what Oi Oi is talking about, Oi Oi and Jason Beatrice just won. Congratulations to them. Logos. Look at these awesome logos. So this is Oi Oi, OI 2. And we got his little martini right here. We got that little chat. We got that little angelic halo right above. You got those little red dots right there. The accuracy, we got 1337, which means elite right in the middle. You can take that out or keep it in because, you know, got to support if you want. Got some more martini glasses here. Got a little chat there. Some angel wings protected by the crest. There we go. Another one. We got Jason Beatrice, the voice of the chat. Outspoken, witty, pro USA. Funny dude. Another funny dude. Bunch of funny dudes. First one or any. They are. Okay. Awesome. Will do, bro. Will do. But I need to restart the stream before I can make it happen. So next stream, it'll be on.
Military apparatus, you have what's called compartmentalization. We've talked to a number of congressmen and also former intelligence officers within the FBI, and they all agree that many times you have high-ranking officials cannot tell their loved ones, their partners, anyone in their family what it is they're doing. Okay. So it is not unheard of for loved ones to simply not know what their loved ones are doing. In this case being General McCaslin, his wife may literally not have had any idea what he was still connected to.
That makes sense. How does his disappearance fit in with the other missing or dead officials allegedly connected to top secret work, Chris?
All right, so the Van Allen belt absolutely exists, but it's not really a solid wall or instant death barrier. It's a radiation zone. Rockets can pass through it if they cross quickly, take the right path, and have shielding, allegedly. So kind of like if you want to think about it, Van Allen belt is not a space force field. It's more like a bad neighborhood. You don't camp there. You just drive through quickly with the windows up.
Well, this is the fascinating part. McCaslin's disappearance is the latest that we know of in a string of deaths and disappearances. But most importantly, the disappearances.
Coop DeVale jumping in on the chat saying a friend of mine has a brother who is very high up at Space Force. I can confirm that his brother is absolutely there you go.
He seems to be
Does that mean you have to be that way to be working with that company?
the linchpin, because when you look back at the general's history, especially his military history, all of the other disappearances, most of them being in nuclear research, we've had government.
Thank you, Oi, appreciate it, brother. Yo, Pyramid 7, how you doing, Pyramid 7? Barney Bell says, I want the new $250 Trump bill if they approve it. That would be hilarious, man. So hilarious. Yeah, I'd want one too, man. That'd be cool.
Government contractors, administrative assistants, and other staff on hand at many of these facilities throughout New Mexico. The general worked or had influence over those positions, and all of these people disappeared in almost the identical fashion as the general. They walked out of their homes. They had no electronic.
One Love, if they do eminent domain, but they have to pay you like market value, right? But what do you lose? You lose like all those memories and all those beautiful things if you had children, the house and family and all those types of things. But, you know, I think that's like part of life. You got to be able to grow, adapt, and not let certain things affect you in such a way.
No way of tracing them, and simply vanished off the face of the earth within the last year.
It's so bizarre. I do want to play some body cam footage of the police interviewing.
Oh my gosh, they pay you what they want. That's different, bro. That's different. I just read a story about somebody who was working at the old, what's that called? Where, like an old market. And it's like a retail store. Starts with an S. And it was around in the 90s. And they sold, you know, random stuff. That name. But anyways, a man could work there, have 4 children, buy a house, retire, and like just work retail, like an admirable job. So wild. And now like you cannot survive on Sears. That's right, Sears. Pyramid 7. That's right, Sears. Yeah, the dude worked at Sears. He had 4 children. Every year went on vacation, and can't do that anymore, you know. So maybe Trump can figure something out with that, where we can just like live simple lives and just work simple jobs and not worry about certain things, you know.
McCaslin's wife the day he disappeared, and then I'll talk to you right after, Chris.
Sure.
Today, he had taken a drug that the doctor prescribed last night that was supposed to help with sleep. With weight gain, he's lost about 20 pounds for no reason. And with anxiety.
So his wife mentioned a medical condition. With that said, the anonymous caller said he was acting differently the night she met him. Do we know anything more about that possible condition he may have been suffering from?
Well, what we know from previously released 911 calls that his wife, Susan Wilkerson, made before officers arrived, he had, according to his wife, complained of his brain, quote unquote, deteriorating. He was worried of some sort of change in his cognitive well-being. He was reportedly under doctor's care and receiving tests, but no official diagnosis. So it's hard to say if he was legitimately suffering from any type of cognitive decline or not at the current time.
So it really just seems like just as many questions than answers tonight as we try to get to the bottom of where this general disappeared. Chris Malloy, thank you so much. Please come back soon, and hopefully we get more answers. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Going live every single day of 2026. Oh my gosh, man. We got the best chat in the world. Just want to let you know. Absolutely best. I hope that person's all right. You know, that missing general. What do you guys make of this? Pope Leo XIV met with the leader of one of the oldest churches on earth. This is wild. And I'm looking that up for you. One love.
Yesterday morning, inside the Vatican, Pope Leo XIV sat down with a man who leads a church that is almost 1,700 years old. A church that survived genocide, that was scattered across...
All right, so in 2017, Wisconsin and Mount Pleasant pushed the giant Foxconn Wisconsin Valley project, promoted as a massive factor that would bring huge investment and thousands of jobs to prepare land and infrastructure. Mount Pleasant acquired many properties. Wisconsin Watch WPR reported the village paid over $152 million for 132 properties plus relocation costs, and that some homeowners were threatened with eminent domain for road improvements tied to the Foxconn project. The controversy is that residents said the government was basically forcing people out for a private corporate mega project, while the village argued the takings were for public roads, utilities, and infrastructure. Some homeowners sued, and the final Foxconn eminent domain lawsuit was settled in 2022. The bitter twist: Foxconn's original huge factory vision was dramatically scaled back, and much of the land later became tied to who else? Microsoft data center development. Reuters reported Microsoft announced a $3.3 billion AI data center investment in Racine County on land where Foxconn had once planned its factory. Shell company doing work for Microsoft? Maybe. Microsoft later said it would expand Wisconsin data center spending to more than $7 billion. All right, so the reason people are angry is families were pushed out of a promised industrial miracle. Then the promise changed and the land became part of a different corporate future. This is the reason people distrust eminent domain. The government says public improvement, but the citizen sees my home got taken so billion-dollar companies can build. The bullies just moving people around. Tyler Fisher got banned from Gutfeld and more. No, I did not hear about that. Is that a good one? Thank you, Ozdabas. By the way, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Terry says, unfortunately, those jobs are gone and they are not coming back.
Across the Middle East, that still exists against all odds in Lebanon, Syria, and Cyprus. His name is Aram I. And the fact that this meeting happened yesterday tells you a lot about where the Catholic Church is trying to go and why it matters right now. Let's get into it. Yesterday morning, May 18th, 2026, Pope Leo XIV received His Holiness Aram I, Catholicos of the Armenian Apostolic Church, Holy See of Cilicia, for a private audience at the Vatican. It was the first official visit of Aram I to Pope Leo XIV. After the private meeting, which included an exchange of speeches and the presentation of gifts, the two leaders did something that doesn't happen very often. They prayed together. In the urban, the
That's
8th
cool.
chapel of the Apostolic Palace. Two leaders, two ancient traditions, one prayer, and then Aram I went to the dicastery for promoting Christian unity, the Vatican office responsible for dialogue with other Christian churches, before meeting with other departments of the Roman Curia.
Did I miss the handshake? Is it right here? We'll go back to it, but let's see it.
Pope Leo XIV received His Holiness Aram I, Catholicos of the Armenian Apostolic, other departments of the Roman Curia.
Yeah, what a nice book, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow, May 19th, he'll give a public lecture at the Pontifical Oriental Institute on the challenges facing the churches in the Middle East. But to understand why any of this matters, you need to know who Aram I actually is and what church he leads. Armenia was the first nation on earth to adopt Christianity as its official religion. 301 AD. Not Rome, not.
Patriot Watcher says the Strait of Hormuz BS needs to stop. They have a weapon that can get rid of their military in 3 days. Yeah, the thing is, though, even though it is dirty and bad, they got to be very careful and selective with like how they operate. And I think they're trying to do it with like minimal pain, I hope, you know, and those types of things. But you never know. You never know. Hopefully it stops and everything opens up and there's peace over there for sure.
At Constantinople, Armenia. Through the work of Saint Gregory the Illuminator, a nation embraced Christ and never let go. The Armenian Apostolic Church that grew out of that moment is one of the Oriental Orthodox churches, sometimes called pre-Chalcedonian churches. That means they parted ways with Rome and Constantinople after the Council of Chalcedon in 451 AD over a theological dispute about the nature of Christ. For centuries, the split seemed permanent. But here's something important. In recent decades, Catholic and Oriental Orthodox theologians have come to understand that the disagreement of 451 was more about language and terminology than about actual doctrine. The faith was the same, the words were different. That's a big deal, and it's why dialogue between Rome and these ancient churches has been steadily moving forward. Now, there are actually two Armenian Catholicosates, two patriarchal sees. The first is in Echmiadzin, in Armenia itself, the original historic seat. The second is the one Aram I leads, the Catholicosate of the Great House of Cilicia, based in Antelius, Lebanon. This seat serves the Armenian diaspora across the Middle East, communities in Lebanon, Syria, and Cyprus, who have been living in exile for over a century.
Wow.
Aram I has been Catholicos since 1995. That's over 30 years leading a church in one of the most volatile regions on earth. He is not just a religious leader, he is a builder of bridges. He was one of the founders of the Middle East Council of Churches, the body that brings together Christian communities across a region where Christians are a shrinking, often persecuted minority. He served in prominent positions within the World Council of Churches, and he has consistently prioritized his relationship with Rome, visiting the Vatican multiple times since becoming Catholicos, including during the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity in 1997. Pope Leo XIV acknowledged all of this in his speech. He called Aram I dear brother. He thanked him for his tireless ecumenical zeal. And he pointed to something beautiful, St. Paul of Tarsus, the apostle who worked harder than anyone for unity among the churches.
Oh, we got Connecting Rabbit Hole jumping in the chat saying, don't blame one tentacle of the squid. What does that mean? He's saying don't blame one tentacle of the squid, meaning don't blame just one visible part of the system. A tentacle is only the part you can see. The deeper question is, what is the body behind it? Who benefits? Who funds it? Who protects it? And why does the same pattern keep showing up? Thank you, Connecting Rabbit Holes, for teaching us new things. Debbie's in the chat. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
Was born in Cilicia, the exact region of Aram I's see. The Pope also mentioned St.
Waffle Jackson, how you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Nerses the Gracious, a medieval Catholicos of Cilicia who was a pioneer of ecumenism, and whose name was recently added to the Roman martyrology. In other words, Rome now officially recognizes him as a saint. That's what Leo XIV called the ecumenism of the saints. Unity that already exists, not in institutions yet, but in holiness. Since 2003, the Catholic Church and the Oriental Orthodox churches have been engaged in a formal theological dialogue. The Joint International Commission for Theological Dialogue. Armenian delegates are part of that commission. So far, 3 significant documents have been published together: on the nature and mission of the Church, on communion in the early Church, and on the sacraments. Pope Leo XIV said that he hopes this dialogue continues with renewed vigor, acknowledging that there have been recent difficulties because, in his words, there can be no restoration of communion between our churches without unity in faith. That sentence is important. He's not pretending unity is easy. He's not minimizing the real theological differences that still exist. But he's saying we keep going. Because communion is the goal. There was something else in the Pope's speech.
Very cool, very cool. Going towards the right direction.
That you couldn't miss. Lebanon. Aram I's see is based in Antelius, Lebanon. His church lives in Lebanon. And Lebanon, as most of you know, has been...
Helga dropping heat in the chat saying, yes, I respect all religions, but some hide under the name of the Bible to hide their miserable affairs. Unfortunately, you are accurate. Not everyone is perfect. There's evil people within every single race, religion, ethnicity, and all those types of things. And unfortunately, it happens. It does. We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. Thank you so much, Helga. Oh, thank you, Tikasi.
Been going through years of crushing crisis, economic collapse, political paralysis, the aftermath of the Beirut port explosion, and now renewed pressure on the country's unity and stability. Pope Leo XIV visited Lebanon last December. He called it a land so dear to my heart. And yesterday, he said something that lands differently when you hear it in full. At a time when the unity and integrity of your country are once again under threat, our churches are called to strengthen the fraternal bonds that unite not only Christians amongst themselves, but also with their brothers and sisters from other communities in their shared homeland. He's talking about Christians and Muslims living together. He's talking about Lebanon's fragile experiment in coexistence, an experiment that has been breaking apart under pressure for decades. And he's saying the church's job is not to retreat. It's to strengthen those bonds. He assured Aram the first of his daily prayers for the people of Lebanon and the churches of the Middle East. These were not diplomatic words. Coming from a pope who was just there 6 months ago, they carried real weight. We are days away from Pentecost. The Pope mentioned this at the end of his speech, the feast of the Holy Spirit, the moment the Church was born, the moment that broke down barriers of language and culture and nation. And Leo XIV said he was grateful to pray together with Aram I, asking the Spirit to grant us the gift of unity, bestow upon us enduring peace, and renew the face of the earth. That's the frame for all of this. Not politics, not diplomacy, not institutional negotiation, prayer, unity, the Holy Spirit. Two leaders of ancient churches, one Catholic, one Oriental Orthodox, kneeling together in a Vatican chapel, days before Pentecost, asking God for what only God can give. Here's what yesterday was, in plain terms. Pope Leo XIV...
Could this be like a sign of peace? World peace? Could be pretty cool, right?
met with the leader of one of the oldest Christian communities in the world, a community that has survived genocide, exile, and crisis, a community living at the center of one of the world's most unstable regions. They talked, they exchanged gifts, they prayed, and in doing so, they moved something slowly, carefully, but really, toward the unity that Christ asked for the night before he died.
They look pretty happy together there, Pyramid. You know, you never know, broski.
This is what ecumenism looks like when it's not just a word. It looks like two men who lead different traditions, sitting in a room, calling each other brother, and walking into a chapel together to pray. It doesn't make headlines, but it matters. If this video helped you understand what happened yesterday and why it matters, share it with someone.
Very cool. Very cool. That's wild. That's inspiring, actually. Everyone can get along, right? Someone in Massachusetts, there's a meteor caused a boom heard across Massachusetts and Northeast. All right. I tried to see a video earlier about it, but it was not playing for some reason. By the way, we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want. W's in the chat for attractive females who look like females on the screen. And enjoy being in the best chat in the world.
Everywhere, Jen and David. We heard it ourselves as we were driving right here through Needham earlier today. It was so loud it shook our car that we thought maybe something had even hit it. Turns out many of you had the same reaction.
That's funny, TK.
That's amazing Japanese knife set.
Oh my gosh, everyone's like, what is going on? Should we create a TK needs a keyboard fun?
For just 75 cents.
What was that?
It was like boom. We was like, what was that? Everybody
Somebody's gonna make a song out of that. It was like boom.
looking at each other.
We heard a massive bang. Like I was in the kitchen and it was just like boom.
That boom seemed to echo across all of Massachusetts on Saturday.
When we heard that boom, we thought, you know what, we better get out of the house right now.
It was so loud it even woke up the dogs from their afternoon nap. And interrupted a Viking jousting match in Ipswich.
We were like, did something fall on the building? But the building didn't move, so we were okay.
I heard a big boom, and I thought, are we having an earthquake?
That rattling bang that we all seemed to hear wasn't an earthquake or a tree falling. It was a meteor whizzing toward Earth and exploding right over Massachusetts, according to the American Meteor Society.
I was talking to somebody, they're like, did you feel the meteor? I'm like, meteor? That's what that was.
Dr. John Ebel from the Weston Observatory may have been the most excited and informed person about this meteoric boom.
The boom basically is going to go down on the ground and go splat.
He says it's not unusual for space rocks to make it through the atmosphere, but they usually burn up.
It can generate basically a sonic boom that people can hear on the ground.
Wherever you heard it, scientists say this is a reminder that there's so much more out there beyond ourselves.
This is a little piece of space coming and tapping us all on the shoulder and reminding us how cool it all is.
Is it confirmed that it is from space or something else? Some test equipment? Never know, right?
It is also cool. We were all scientists today, and one more cool thing that the scientists told us was that it's pretty common for space rocks to
Cody T says that was not a meteor.
make their way through the atmosphere and to hit
What are you saying? Yeah, it was Uncle Eddie starting the barbecue with 5 gallons of gas again.
Earth. Usually, they're very, very small, the size of grains of
And some mayor says meteors usually come from space.
dust or sand, but those grains of dust are what turn into shooting stars.
Gorgeous girl.
We're live in Needham tonight. Ariel Metropolis, WCVB, News Center 5. Everywhere. And we're live in Needham.
What a nice smile,
Needham tonight.
right? There you go. There you go. Pretty smile. All right, so President Trump's physical exam results released. All right.
Well, tonight in America, the White House is showing the results of President Trump's physical exam late last night. The White House physician doctor recommending he lose weight and exercise more while noting he's in excellent health. He says Trump demonstrates strong cardiac, pulmonary, neurological, and overall physical function. The doctor says he's fully fit to carry out all duties of the commander.
If a girl's attractive, I got to tell her, you know, even if it's, you never know, she might watch the stream and then she wants to, you know, be interviewed by me or something or teach me something. That'd be really cool.
In chief and head of state.
All right, so he's doing healthy. That's good. That's very good. And you never know. You know, she's like, oh, you have Veronica over there. You know, we haven't brought Veronica out because there's no super chats, but you don't have to bring any super chats. But we got Veronica's buddy, you know.
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
Not yet, but maybe sometime soon, girl. Don't worry
Please
about it.
support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
Maybe she wants to be like the next girl to do that for the page, you know, to like help support the page. That'd be cool. She's awesome. Rescuers free 4 men from flooded Laos cave. What? What in the world? That's good. Well, that's good. POTUS is healthy, you know.
New at 6, video shows the moments the final 4 villagers were rescued
Cody TA, thank you, buddy. Happy to have you on board, buddy.
from a flooded cave in Laos. 7 villagers had.
Terry. Anytime Terry chats, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. Saying, yeah, remember that Chinese weather balloon blown into U.S. airspace? The world laughed when China asked for their balloon back after they shot it down. Sounds like a riddle. Why did the world laugh when China asked for their balloon back? Curious.
Had initially entered the cave, but only 5 were found alive after 10 days. Jen Sullivan has details on the dramatic rescue and how the men are doing.
Cheers and cries heard as the remaining 4 men trapped inside a cave in Laos for more than a
Thank the Lord they're saved.
week are finally free.
Involuntary fasting.
This video capturing their emotional reunion, families tearfully embracing. The 4 remaining men were able to crawl out on their own on Saturday after rescue crews successfully pumped out water inside the cave. Originally, divers from an international rescue team planned to rescue them in high waters, which they say would have been dangerous for everyone involved.
Oh my
It was the best
God.
outcome.
How do they survive? Goodness gracious. I mean, that's just proof that there is a Lord right there.
Exhausted after spending 10 days in dark, damp conditions, the men were taken to a camp to undergo medical care. You can see them wrapped in foil on stretchers.
The adrenaline, they run for their life, and once they arrive to the camp, they just vanish.
You can see one of the villagers being placed in an ambulance. Some of the men developed skin and intestinal problems. The 5 villagers were illegally mining for gold May 20th when torrential rain caused flash flooding, sealing their exit more than 850 feet away. Rescuers finally discovered them a week later. Friday, one of the trapped men was able to be
Skin's just like a raisin after being in water for a week.
rescued, telling people he was
Ricky Hearn saying they'll probably go back to work tomorrow. You never know, bro.
grateful to be out. There are still
That's so cool. They're so thankful, man.
2 other villagers not connected to this group that are believed to still be trapped inside. As of Saturday afternoon, rescue crews were still searching for them.
Oh my God, dude, that's sad. I hope they find them, man. That's a tough one. Trump administration hits Iran with new sanctions. What's going on?
Push for a deal.
They're opening the strait. They're closing the strait. They're doing this. They're doing that. You know, you never know. What happens
Did
if I do
anyone
this?
drop a super chat or
There we
become
go.
member yet? Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
She's so pretty.
Deal has been tested twice this week with the U.S.
The Trump administration hits Iran with new sanctions as ceasefire negotiations drag on.
and Iran exchanging fire near the Strait of Hormuz. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth addressing American forces in Singapore overnight and quoting President Trump on the potential for more military action.
Iran can either do it the right way, with a deal across the table, or they can deal with my guy on the left. That happened to be me. But it's not me, it's you guys.
Raising the economic pressure, the Trump administration announcing new sanctions on Iran's oil trade, even as Iran.
Sanctions. Now what's going to happen with that?
Pushes for sanctions relief in the negotiations. The Treasury Secretary said that won't be on the table until the president's central goals are met.
Open the strait, highly enriched uranium.
That's right. Connecting Rabbit Hole says, we love the anti-feminist girls. There you go.
No nuclear program.
As the world waits. Important to note that if the Strait of Hormuz is reopened through a short-term deal, that would only restore operations to status quo from before the war and would not address any of the core reasons for starting the conflict, most importantly on Iran's nuclear program. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Yeah, Terry, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. But I'm sure that balloon had something else to do with it. I don't think it was just a balloon, you know. Man. So we got community rallies around families of Longview paper mill tragedy. What's going on with all these tragedies, man? So many tragedies happening.
Just days after the tragedy, the community quickly coming together to support the victims and their families. Our Jake Holter brings us a story of neighbor helping neighbor.
Here outside Bob's Sporting Goods in downtown Longview, a line wrapped around the parking lot here for a community barbecue to raise money for the families affected by the mill disaster. And this is just one of the many events that are happening to support these families.
You get to come out and not feel sad alone.
Hundreds of people brought together by barbecue and love for their neighbors Saturday.
People just keep coming, and it's unreal to us.
Life is tragic, but you can laugh about it and try to make the best out of it. That's absolutely true, right? We're going live every day of 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want.
That, you know, something that was thrown together Thursday night is that everybody showed up to.
Longview hurting after 11 of their own were killed after a tank imploded at the Nippon Dynawave facility.
Ozdaba says, what a lot of people don't know is that there's also woke people working at Fox. Got to fulfill that DEI, right?
Facility Tuesday. So at Saturday's community barbecue, people were encouraged to pay what they can, with all proceeds going to the families impacted by the accident.
It's heartbreaking when such an integral part of the community and so many people in the community experience that level of loss. And so it's really encouraging to see when the rest of the community steps up and, you know, wants to take care of everybody.
Across town, multiple...
That's so cool. Out of tragedy, a community just gets together and, you know, helps people get back on their feet.
Vendors at the Cowlitz Community Farmers Market are donating some of their proceeds to the families, including Easy Peasy Lemonade.
I was laying in bed on Tuesday night, the night that it happened, or the day it happened, and I just knew I had to do something to contribute to it. So this is the only way I could really help in some way.
People we spoke with touched by the act of kindness, some even grabbing a lemonade after seeing the fundraiser posted online.
I have a 50-ounce strawberry pomegranate.
For many, the tragedy still too raw to even talk about, but being together.
Welcome to the chat, Durbanpo. Good to see ya.
Helps.
A lot of new faces I haven't seen at the market. I hear about every Saturday, but a lot of new faces that just came out because they know local businesses are wanting to help in a small way that they can for the families.
Even down in Kalama, people want to do what they can to help.
Absolutely heartbreaking, devastating, and so I feel like in times like these, there's not a whole lot you can do other than coming together, and I feel like we are community strong through and through. We always come together, and right now that's what we need to do.
And Alice says 100% of their Sunday sales at the Kalama Red Leaf location will go to the affected families. In Longview, Jake Holter.
True, Waffle Jackson. True. Wonder what TK thinks about this video. TK, what do you think about this one? Proud Boys show up at Delaney Hall to support ICE as protests escalate.
Because we're workers. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. We work for a living. What about you? Real party. You got a little space. Out for the child.
It's so weird. They're like instigating each other, but this guy's wearing glasses. This guy's wearing glasses, kind of covering their faces. A little interesting going on. Is it muted? No.
I thought people should wear masks. See that? It should be, Mikey Sherrill, I don't know if she listens to CBS or not. Just ban this and stop it. This is a waste of taxpayers' money, and it's not peaceful. And you watch when we leave here how peaceful it's going to be. It's not.
Delaney Hall to support ICE as protests escalate. Okay.
Illegal. So they say we're pigs. We're American citizens, and they're called us pigs. We got a woman down.
This is the Proud Boys.
Watch out, don't hurt that septum piercing. I don't know. Setup? Never know. Got this stem. Let me see if I can see that septum.
This is the Proud Boys.
No, I'm not going to show you the septum piercing at all. Connecting Rabbit Hole says both sides are paid actors clown show. I think so. You're probably right. You're probably right. Speaking of clowns, Trump says no point doing a deal with these clowns. All right. Come on, Trump. Negotiate. You can do a deal, buddy. You can do an amazing deal. We got faith in you.
Well, let's have a listen to Pete Hegseth talking about the latest in Iran.
Any deal will be a good deal. And I had a chance to talk to President Trump this morning. He wanted me to reiterate how patient he is in ensuring that with America undertaking this kind of historic endeavor, any deal will be a good one. Our ability to recommence if necessary is, we are more than capable. Our stockpiles are more than suited for that, both there and around the globe, because of how we balance exquisite and more plentiful munitions. So we're in a very good place.
Well, for me, the key thing there is that they're prepared to keep on fighting, and that's the recommence the battle or bombing or whatever it takes, because there's no point doing a deal with these clowns, well, the Ayatollahs. They're not going to stick to any deal. And what's the point of a deal? The only thing that is necessary in Iran is regime change. That has to happen, and that will only happen when the pressure is so intense on the Ayatollahs, the mullahs, the IRCG, that the people of Iran have the confidence to run.
So allegedly, chat is saying Tyler Fisher told the Hodge twins why he got basically fired from Fox. And the translation is he's giving his side of why Fox or Gutfeld stopped booking him. But we should be careful because basically fired doesn't always mean legally fired. It can mean he was no longer invited back, All right. And so what happened with Cam Higbee? Cam Higbee is one of those conservative street interview guys who goes into hostile protest zones with a camera. The Delaney Hall situation got ugly. Anti-ICE protests were already tense, and when he showed up, he became part of the confrontation. The accurate version is not he disappeared or he was extinguished. It looks like he was confronted, allegedly had his phone taken or was attacked, and the broader protest scene turned chaotic. There you go. Good call. And that was from Waffle Jackson.
Rise up. That's the end game.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, the problem that I have kind of with all this talk, about a deal and making a good deal is that a deal isn't victory. And this is what America voted for, was that you're not going to war unless you're going to actually win a war. And that I think, we can't get away from this. And I think Trump's going to have a bit of a problem with some of his constituents and some of his base if there's a deal that looks like, well, why did we rattle all this, spend all this money, time, treasure to get a position where you're kind of back where you started from?
Yeah, Trump's a deal maker. We know that. He likes a...
Yeah, if Gutfield couldn't get involved because HR, I don't know. Can you really get mad at Gutfield? Is that what was happening? They're getting mad at Gutfield for that?
Deal. He likes the Abraham Accords. He's got a track record of geopolitical dealing in his 2 terms. But with Iran, I think you go in there, you do the job, you finish the job, you leave.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the Iranian people to overthrow the regime. They're as weak as they have been in 47 years. But I just don't understand this determination.
How you doing, Ralph?
To have a deal in place when we know that regime is so fractured. So you could strike a deal, but the IRGC will undermine it almost immediately, which then makes you look weak. So yeah, I don't know who within the administration is pushing this notion that the exit strategy has to have a deal attached, because you got the job done. You've gone in there, you've eliminated essentially their navy, you've devastated their army, their air force, you've destroyed the nuclear sites, set back that nuclear program decades. Job done.
Yeah, well, except though that now, if they've mined the Strait of Hormuz, if the Iranians have mined it, if they're now controlling it in a way that they weren't controlling it before, and if they retain that uranium stocks, that's not good. That's actually winding up in a worse position.
But surely the might of the American military can deal with the Strait of Hormuz.
And with Iran. Well, they should be doing it right now, not sitting around talking about a deal. Just go in and get it done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He wants progress. He definitely wants it to happen.
What has been interesting this week is, of course, we touched on it briefly earlier, the Abraham Accords, and Rita mentioned it, and what has been happening is Donald Trump is putting pressure on all the Arab states to now join the Abraham Accords, and if the regime were to change in Iran, they would obviously be a contender for that as well. But this is actually peace in the Middle East, and maybe that's the main game that Trump is focused on. This deal thing is to just keep the pressure there on the IRCG till they collapse. They will collapse. They have to collapse.
Good point, Loki saying, or is it because he wants to make a deal? So if they break it, no Democrat or anybody could talk bad about him attacking them again. Could be in the cards. Could be in the cards, absolutely.
Because they have nothing. As you said, they're weak militarily. As Rita says, they have no support from within the country. So at some point,
they have no support within the country, but the portion of the country that does support them has all the guns.
Yeah,
that's why they're in power. And we have seen how they crack down on any sort of dissent, any political protests met with gunfire. They've slaughtered tens of thousands of people just in this year. So
yeah, that's unfortunate, and that's a good point. Yeah, they could start trading rare earth like uranium, and he could have oversight. Well said, Loki. You never know. And Terry says false people of Iran are rallying behind their government, especially after Trump extinguished the Ayatollah, which is a war crime, by the way. There you go. That's a wild one. That's a wild one. But allegedly, there's a lot of Iranians who are stoked for Trump and actually support Trump. So I don't know which one to believe, which side to believe, honestly. Yeah, Mike makes a valid point. We extinguished 30,000 of your own citizens in 1 month. I doubt seriously people are rallying around their government. Yeah. Speaking of the moon, we got something to switch it up a little bit. We got this dude jumping out of an airplane without a parachute and surviving. Come on, dude. Come on.
Jumpers are away. Jumpers are
They're off. That's how he has to land.
Yes, this dude is in green. You can see him. Oops. This is history exposed. And he does not have a parachute. Absolutely wild. Just jumps out of an airplane. And got a big net. Does a 180. Bam, lands, man. Big hug, big hug. That's true love right there, man. Just fall in the net. Love is the net. The Lord is your net. There you go. Such a beautiful moment. And quite daring, right? Oh, is there a fail? We love fails, right? Bro ruined the gender reveal and the automobile. All right, this has to be good. This is exactly what you're not supposed to do to a C63 or whatever type of Mercedes this is. It's so painful to hear. One way to start a fire, dude. Gosh. If you're gonna do any of that type of stuff, make sure you know what you're doing, man. You ain't get slapped by the cat, man. Come on.
Did anyone drop a super chat or become member yet?
No.
Please support this channel, drop a super chat, and become a member.
Y'all do whatever you want. But thanks for coming out here, girl. So cool to see you. Oh. All right, this is what you shouldn't be doing with sportsmanship. This guy is absolutely bonkers. We're going to see one of these guys. They're going about 130, 140 miles per hour. Traction control is on Anson Meyer for the W. We got to tell that dude. Yeah, D is for drive and take traction control off.
This will be why. Let's have a look. Oh, he didn't ram him, did he?
Look at this guy. Number 13's gonna snake number 62 and just try to do the dirtiest deed.
Fanati, yes, he did.
Oh, bam! He grabbed his brake.
Brake on. Brake.
Oh,
no, that's ridiculous. No. Romano Fanati,
no.
You are such a what's it sometimes. You really are.
Get him off the track for that.
You know.
I agree. Get him off the track. That's somebody can get very, very injured and hurt for that. That's not cool at all, bro. Not cool.
And get him off the track.
TT Isle of Man is the most dangerous race ever. Yeah, dude. 140 miles per hour, dude. Like, that like leads back to our quote of, you know, even if someone is competing in the same space as you, you want the best for them, you know, and you want to bring the best out in yourself. Be a real competitive person, not a slime ball.
There's a flogging for that.
Yeah. He deserves a one race ban as well.
That dude drifted into that turn.
Me for that one.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's
Grab
dangerous.
someone else's front brake.
140 miles an hour.
And if you got that wrong.
This is unbelievable. I mean, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's where you just tell him, hey man, go pack your bag and we'll see you next year. That's ridiculous.
And it's not his...
Oz the boss. How you doing, buddy?
first offence, that's the problem. We're talking about a man here who's got form for doing stupid things on track. Motorcycling's dangerous. Let me tell you, this is about 120, maybe 30 miles an hour. Imagine doing that and someone leaning across, grabbing your front brake. Watch this. The front wheel momentarily locks, and if he'd have crashed at that point, it would have been a massive crash.
Oh my God, dude. Right, or Jesus. Yeah, Jesus was with this man right here, man. What?
Maybe 30 miles an hour. Imagine doing that and someone leaning across, grabbing your front brake. Watch this. The front wheel momentarily locks,
Oh
and if
my
he'd have crashed
God.
at that point,
And you don't know, like, they're going so fast that could just set something out of balance. Yeah. Kev Dog saying attempted extinguishment for sure, bro. They got to find that guy or do something about it, because like that's really not cool, man. That's not nice at all, man. Come on.
it would have been a massive crash. This happened a couple of years ago in an Italian championship. There was a lawsuit after it, and a GBH lawsuit, because the rider obviously got injured, and the rider that grabbed the front brake. It was all caught on camera, very similar to that.
He was lucky then.
Very lucky. Manzi was lucky.
Manzi was lucky, and also that nothing more happened with that.
I'd be very, very surprised if we see riding in
never mind.
I'm gonna say, if you employed him.
No, you're out, dude. Sorry, you just don't do that.
Awesome, Mike. Happy you're enjoying it, buddy. Happy to have you here.
I mean, you gotta take responsibility.
By the way, make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat if you want, and enjoy your life, follow your dreams.
Responsibility for what you do, and you're doing something like that, putting somebody's life in danger. No, I'm out.
It's road rage. It's road rage. And these are supposed to be professionals. They are professionals. And every now and again, you get one bad apple. Fanati's done it before. See ya. Yeah. Harsh, I know, but
no,
it's 130 miles an hour. You don't do that.
It was shocking. It was really.
Yeah, he's not happy about it, man. I don't think anyone's happy about that. That's if you're gonna play the sport, you gotta play it well. And this is one really cool thing to do. Like, if you want to become a rich person, this is like one of the reasons to become rich. This is just such a beautiful moment, and so nice to be able to give back. It's like just absolutely brilliant. Look at her face. And he's like standing right behind him, getting ready for it. What bam. So cool. Look at her smile. She's like, what? Oh my God, who paid for it? And it's so cool that he's like helping elderly people, you know, like we don't show enough respect for elderly people, I think. Always good to show respect to the elderly. That's awesome, man. Absolute gentleman. That's right. User TT knows. She's nicer to look at than a black screen. And here we're going to end it with this little inspiration on how to make a sparkly pool. Never seen one of these in my life.
An alien pool. And trust me, after you see what this thing does at night, you're never gonna look at a regular pool the same way again. First thing we do, we pebble the pool. The client picks whatever color they want. Could be deep black, could be cosmic blue, could be emerald green, doesn't matter. That color...
Jiggly Bandito says elderly, they have all the money, dude. You would never know. You don't know. Actually, a lot of these older people get taken advantage of. Unfortunately, they are preyed upon, and the pharmaceutical system, the medical system, like if they get the short end of the stick, it's very, very hard. And Yeah, Oi Oi making a good point, saying, remember, 99% of the people are poor and cannot work at that age. Yeah, you got to be kind to each other. That's right. Oh, Loki, thank you for the 2 cent 100 for 2 jewels. I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's just like, and they're weaker, and yeah, they can't work, and they're not all there, and like a buddy of mine, I just talked to him on the phone. He's like helping this elderly lady, and like poor lady fell on her hip and like has a hematoma on her calf or something, and like I don't know if she broke her hip, but did something bad. And it's like, oh man, I hate hearing about that because she's so sweet, you know. So if she didn't have him, she would be effed. You know, he's a really nice dude to help her out.
Color becomes the canvas for everything that comes next. Then we ask one simple question. How much glow do you want? A little sprinkle of
glow in the dark sprinkles, bro.
Stars, a solid scatter, or full-on galaxy mode where the whole pool lights up like the night sky? Once
user TT. Awesome, bro. Take care of your wife. Find a hobby if you don't have one. Hopefully you do have one. Keep your mind mentally engaged, but you seem very sharp yourself. I can probably learn something from you, actually.
Once that's decided, the real magic starts. We pour in the alien particles, hundreds of them, scattered across the floor and the walls. These little things soak up sunlight all day long, completely invisible. Then the moment it gets dark, they light up on their own. While one guy throws the particles, another follows right behind with a trowel, blending them in, pressing them flat. Gotta lock every single one in place.
Nothing like swimming in radiation.
It's a spot and the whole effect.
There you go, Rudy. Yeah, you need this pool, bro.
It's ruined. Then we hit it with an acid wash. Strips the surface clean, pulls every particle right to the top. Finally,
the acid wash. Just curious, it kind of looks rough, like you would scrape
we fill it up and we wait. In the daylight, looks like a regular pool. Pretty but nothing crazy. But the second that sun goes down, the whole thing comes alive.
So wild, bro. So wild. Jiggly Bandito is not down with the sprinkles, bro. Sounds toxic. Yeah, I'd rather swim in a what is that, like natural saltwater pool? For sure.
And that, my friends, is why we call it the alien pool. All right, so this is how we build.
Yeah, dude. Bright and wild right there. All right, y'all. You made it through the chaos. You should be proud of yourselves. Which means your brain officially has a seatbelt. And thank you for being sharp, funny, curious, part of the best chat in the world. Hit like, subscribe, share, become a member, send a super chat on the next stream. Remember, stay honest, stay brave, and keep your soul bigger than the algorithm. And I love you. Thank you so much. Have a good night, my brothers. And we will see you tomorrow, next time. All right, y'all. Oh, let me end this, the poll. That's right. Is the U.S. stronger with Trump in charge? No, 57%. Yes, 43%. There you go. Yes, stay safe, y'all. And if you ever want to share videos or connect Discord on my YouTube, you can join the Discord. It's free. And yeah, easy to contact there with like personal messages and become friends. People become friends with each other and all that stuff. It's really cool. All right, y'all. Until next time.